Dzień dobry Państwu. Dzień trzeci meczu o Mistrzostwo Świata Kobiet w Warcabach stupelowych. Po 2 dniach rozgrywek Natalia Sadowska prowadzi z Tamarą TANSYKKUZHINą 14-10. A dzisiaj gość, który będzie ze mną razem komentował, arcymistrz międzynarodowy Wouter Sipma z Holandii, więc absolutny top. Mamy tutaj młodego przedstawiciela najwyższego poziomu warcabów na świecie. I dzisiejszy stream z uwagi na naszego gościa będzie prowadzony i po polsku, i po angielsku, więc oczywiście Adrian z Katowic, który tutaj na pewno będzie pytał się w jakim języku, czy już widzę sugerował, że po holendersku, nie, będzie i po polsku, i po angielsku, dlatego spokojnie, w jednym języku i w drugim możecie pisać. A ja będę prowadził dialog z arcymistrzem Wouterem Sipmą i po angielsku, a z wami po polsku. A dodatkowo Wouter, dlatego że jest bardzo ogarnięty w technologii, będzie prowadził analizę i będzie zarządzał deską analityczną. Today's stream will be also in Polish and English because of our Polish viewers that are the best part of the biggest part of the audience, and also in English because my guest, Grandmaster International Wouter Sipma from the Netherlands, is the co-host, co-commentator with me of today's game. Hello, Wouter. Thank you very much that you accepted the invitation, that you joined me in this day.
Siema, co tam? How are you doing? I'm very glad to be here, to be commentating for you. I'm very excited for the games today. Usually on Sundays I sleep very long, but now I was already awake at 9 and already starting to think about what the games will bring today. And I couldn't fall asleep anymore, so that's very good.
What do you think about previous 2 days?
Yeah, I think it's typical kind of beginning of a match where both players do not show their everything yet. Very calm start. Of course, Natalia is ahead now, and I think she showed a little bit better game so far. But for Tamara's, it's not hopeless because, for example, in the long game yesterday, she did have chances towards the end. So yeah, we'll see.
Maybe did you saw the analysis of Edward Burzyński, the evening ones, or you missed it? Because Edward, when heard that you will be the guest today, was kind of excited because he likes the way that you play, because you are the aggressive one. You look for the impact, you look for the tough positions, tough decisions to make, and in opposition to your style, the games of girls are played so far.
Yeah, that's so nice to hear. Of course, I hope for a very interesting game, but even if it's a bit calmer, I will try to find some interesting variants for you.
Of course, you manage the analyzing board today. I will not touch it most of the time, so feel free to show us the variants, etc. Switching to Polish. Witam was wszystkich bardzo serdecznie. Siemaneczko, Marta, Mateusz, Paweł, Maciek Lew. Miłego dnia, dzień dobry. Ja wam wszystkim też życzę miłego dnia i nam oczywiście, oglądając te dzisiejsze zmagania i mając nadzieję na to, że będzie się działo naprawdę ciekawie. 5 minutes to the game. Natalia is just sitting down. Natalia plays white. What do you think about the opening? Do you predict some opening that already has been played during this match, or we'll see something new today?
Yeah, I think it will be the same, actually. In her previous 2 matches, Natalia has been known for her good opening preparation. She opened already 33-29 in the first game on Friday, and also in the in the second game yesterday, also 33-29. It will be interesting whether we will see the same again and how Tamara will respond to that. If it's again the same exchange, 18-23.
But according to our analysis that we made with Edward Burzyński and previously with Jean-Marc Jeffang, we point the fact that Tamara is standing better after the opening so far. Do you think it will be the same this time? Because you said that Natalia is well prepared with openings, but I think that just this running away from the theory makes Tamara in a good position.
I also think that Tamara surprised Natalia a little bit. But of course, the team of Natalia has had 2 days now to prepare for this. Now they know that Tamara will play this exchange, and her coach Evgenia Vatutin is absolutely able to think of a better reply than in the previous games.
Today I'm wearing the red shirt because I think that there will be blood today. This is the third day of the match, and today we have the day off and day to rest, to bring your strength back, and I think that players will put everything in today's game. Dzisiaj założyłem czerwoną koszulę, bo moim zdaniem poleje się dzisiaj krew. Mam nadzieję, że będziemy mieli bardzo emocjonujące spotkania. No i pierwsze pytanie do Was, do wszystkich na czacie. Jaki Wy przewidujecie dzisiaj wynik? Czy dzisiaj rozstrzygnięcie będzie w pierwszej rundzie, czy będziemy mieli znowu dogrywkę Rapid Blitz po południu o godzinie 18 i 19? Jak Wy sądzicie? A ja za chwilę zapytam o to mojego gościa. Wouter, how do you think about the prediction of the result today? Do you think that we have chances to see the winner in the classical game, or do you think that we have to meet once again in the evening and see the Rapid and Blitz game?
Yeah, I think it's most likely that it will be a draw in the first game. And then indeed we'll have the games later tonight. What I'm most curious about is whether we'll see any changing in playing style, because so far Tamara has also played rather calmly, where I think she can also play aggressively and with interesting strategies and creative ideas, but we haven't seen it so far. And maybe it's not necessary for her.
Yeah. Mamy też prośbę od osób słabowidzących i niewidomych, żebym podawał numery. Proszę przypominajcie mi o tym, tak jak Tomek Lech pisze, dostałem też kilka innych wiadomości. Będę starał się pamiętać o tym, będę to podawał. Jakby się zdarzało zapomnieć, to proszę mi przypominajcie. We have also, as the viewers, partially sight and blind people, so I will try to speak out loud every move that is made during the game, just to let them follow the analysis that we make. Just for you to know.
Yeah, that's good. We will also name all the squares we are moving the pieces to. That's the language of drafts. It's very strange for people outside of drafts when you hear people talking about it, like 32-28, 18-23.
Tak, mamy ten sam debiut. We have the same opening. 33-29. W pierwszym ruchu zagrała Natalia, następnie 18-23. Bicie. I can switch also the moves. Bicie z 29 na 18, 13 bije na 22. 34-30, 12-18, 30-25 i 7-12. Wiem, że trochę szybko, ale bardzo szybko zawodniczki zagrały ten debiut. Really quick, the same opening that was already made. And once again, Edward Burzyński says that 34-30 is a passive move, but Natalia is playing that move. And Natalia played another move, 39-33 already. What do you think about playing the same opening once more? And we have another move, which is 8-13 from Tamara. I can't hear you, Wouter. There is something with a microphone.
Sorry. Yes, this is actually a new move. I think because in the Rapid game yesterday, she played 9-13. Yeah. So I wonder what's the idea behind this one. Maybe also to get out of the preparation of Sadowska.
And Sadowska played 44? Dobrze, więc jeszcze raz powoli powiem debiut dla wszystkich osób słabowidzących, niewidomych. Zaczęło się od ruchu 33-29, potem Tamara wymieniła 18-23, 29 bije na 18, 13 bije na 22. Natalia zagrała 34-30, 12-18, 30-25, 7-12, 39-33, 8-13, 44-39 i potem 2-8. Filologia angielska has a question to you. Is there any strong player today like Baba Sy in the past with combinational aggressive style?
Let me think. There are definitely different types of top players, and I think in succession of Babasi, most African players have a good combinational style. So when you talk about Jean-Marc Geoffang, who was here yesterday, but also Joel Atze, for example, they are very strong at combinations. But even I think Alexander Georgiev should be counted as a combination player, someone who has a great tactical mind.
Tamara played to 23, 19, of course. Yeah, after 40, 44. About the combination style, I also would mind Guntis Valneris, because he is the guy that always follows the tactical variants in the games, yeah?
Yes. His games are always very nice to look at. He always tries to get the sharp positions.
Yeah, maybe even before my suggestion, Yuri Anikeyev on the chat wrote the same. Valneris is the tactical player. Also Tialing Hudemut in his course, I believe, mentioned the tactical possibilities of Guntis Valneris. Marta Bańkowska points that in the match with Zoya Golubieva it was the same, that during the whole match the openings were mostly the same.
Yeah, this is quite typical, I think. This is also what makes matches interesting and very different from tournaments, because in a tournament you have different opponents and you will choose different openings, but with the same opponent it makes sense to try to play the same way.
Właśnie I switch to Polish for a minute. Właśnie to jest bardzo dziwne, słuchajcie, że faktycznie tak jak mówi Łukasz tutaj, witają się wszyscy Kepso, Staku. Bardzo interesującym jest to, że w meczach, kiedy gra jedna osoba przeciwko jednej, zwłaszcza u kobiet, przez większość meczu często są grane podobne, te same debiuty i panie wybierają cały czas te same warianty, potem próbują się zaskoczyć, lekko jednak zmieniając te rozwiązania w pierwszych ruchach partii, tak jak tutaj ruch 8-13, a ruch 9-13 był taką zmianą ze strony Tamary. Próbuje wyprowadzić pewnie przygotowanie teoretyczne swojej przeciwniczki, a Natalia kolejny raz daje Tamarze zagrać ten debiut, żeby wprowadzić ją może w jakieś warianty, które już w międzyczasie przygotowała, bo kończą się te partie, a zawodniczki nie kończą swojej gry, siadają do pracy z trenerami, przygotowują te debiuty, no i dalej ostro ćwiczą. Witam Edwarda Twardego, witam wszystkich, którzy się pojawiają na czacie. Piszcie może skąd kibicujecie i skąd oglądacie transmisję, bo tutaj pojawiła się już wiadomość od Petera Ramsundara, że Trinidad i Tobago dołączyli do oglądania. Greetings for Trinidad and Tobago from Warsaw and from Netherlands, I think also.
Yes, absolutely. I wonder where today's viewers are from. So, just write in the chat. Where are you watching from? I guess a lot of viewers from Poland, obviously, but also from Russia. There must be a lot of fans for Tamara.
That's right. That is just the question that I asked in Polish. Type down. Okay, we have Denmark already on the chat. There is a question, another from Marcin Bratek. How many professional players, drafts players are in the world? How do you think? How many professional drafts players?
Well, probably around 20 or 30. It also depends a little bit on your definition of professional player, because I think you can count the absolute top players on the world title, but there are also kind of more broad drafts entrepreneurs. Maybe you are also one of them who can spend a lot of time on drafts, but not solely as a player, but also as a promoter or in selling books or writing books.
That's right. We have people from Katowice, Warszawa, Piła, Kutno. What else do we have? Greetings from Scotland. Really nice to see you. Really nice to greet you. Zduny. Okay, another cities. Once more I will tell the notation for the partially sighted and blind viewers. Jeszcze raz powiem notację od samego początku do tego momentu, bo poszła taka prośba. Meanwhile, Toruń, Tarnobrzeg, Gliwice, Antanarywa, Łukasz Kosobucki. Ty to byś był na Antanarywie. No. Łukasz Kosobucki from Antananarivo. Greetings from Rome, from Daniele Makali. Greetings back from Warsaw, Warszawa, Wrocław, Medyka, Gliwice, Poznań, Rybnik, cała Polska. All the Poland is not only Poland. Wrocław watching us today. The notation of the game goes like. Zapis partii idzie w ten sposób. Jeszcze raz od początku. 33-29, potem czarnymi wymieniono 18-23, bicie na 18, bicie na 22, czyli bicie w prawo od strony czarnych, 34-30, 12-18, 30-25, 7-12, 39-33, 8-13, 44-39, 2-8, 40-34 i ostatni ruch czarnych to jest 19-23. Plichowice, co tu jeszcze mamy? Krosno, witam serdecznie. Czelać, już jestem Katowice, Adrian z Katowic, jak żeby inaczej. Netherlands are also present. Nałęczów, Jarnów, Mława, Chełmek, Częstochowa. No, many Polish cities and many not Polish cities.
And if I'm not mistaken, Mława is the hometown of Natalia, is that true?
That's right, and Leszek Pętlicki, who wrote that he is from Mława, is the person responsible for bringing Natalia to drafts, for showing Natalia the drafts at first in the first class of the primary school. So big thanks from Polish and world drafts lovers to Leszek Pętlicki for finding Natalia, for bringing her to drafts live.
Very important person.
Very important, VIP for sure. What can you say about this idea of Natalia now? Because she has to decide what to play. Do you expect some particular plan from Natalia?
Yeah, I think she still has to make one waiting move and let Black decide. Of course, White can here already play 32-28, make an exchange, but that will only make it easier for Black to develop her wing here. Or exchange like 31-27, but that will leave White with two inactive pieces. So I think White should just wait, because Black also has just one waiting move left. So probably something like 50-44, 1-7, and then 44-40 or 34-30, and let Black make the first decision to break the position.
Witamy serdecznie pana posła Tomasza Zimocha na naszym czacie. Pan Tomasz trzyma kciuki, podobnie jak cała część pewnie polskiej i nie tylko polskiej grupy fanów Natalii. Witamy serdecznie i zapraszamy do kibicowania, bo emocje naprawdę sięgają zenitu raz po raz w kolejnych partiach naszych warcabowych zmagań. We have Yuri Anikeyev. Strategy of both players is not changed. Tamara is taking center, Natalia is surrounding. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I think this suits both players, but for Natalia it's a little bit risky because I think in some games she has a habit of playing a little bit too passive, which we also saw yesterday in the classical game. So for her it's important to not to play too passively and find some really counter chances against the active position of Black. Yesterday it was just a little bit too easy for Tamara. She could play quickly, whereas Natalia had to think. So I think Natalia is now already looking for how can I keep my position solid and not too easy for Tamara.
Do you expect that some of the classical games of this match will come with win of one of the players?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think there will be 9 games without a win for either of them.
But do you think it will be in the second part of the match, or we can expect that even today?
Yeah, it's possible even today, but more likely towards the end of the match when players are already a bit tired and maybe the tension is even higher.
And let's talk about the attitude of the players with the next rounds, that if it is changing or not, because let's stay with that the result will be something like that, 4 or 6 points of advantage of one of the player. For example, Natalia, do you think that when is the proper moment to attack, to start to play aggressively from Tamara?
You can do that whenever you feel that that you're doing better than your opponent. If in a few games you already had a little bit of advantage, then the next game can be the one to really push, because your opponent might feel a little bit insecure because of the previous games. So I think you really have to build up this this kind of pressure even throughout multiple games, and play a little bit more aggressive each game. But of course, if Natalia manages to win a few times in the rapid, and Tamara gets behind by 12 points or so, she will need to play more aggressive, because she really needs to win in the first game.
I don't know if you know that, but the win of Natalia over Tamara in the first round in rapid game was the first ever win of Natalia over Tamara in rapid time.
All right, no, I didn't know that. So on paper it was Tamara.
Natalia was the favorite.
Chances.
But about the paper, I am prepared here with the statistics of you to make you the closer person to the audience. Wouter Sipma is born at May 21st of 1993. Is it correct?
Correct, yes.
You are the Grandmaster International from the 1st of January 2017. So
I think so, yes. It was the last result that I needed was in the European Championship 2016 in Turkey. And then I got it, yeah.
Your highest place at the world rating list was the 9th?
Yes.
In the beginning of 2016, yeah?
Yes.
Now you are at 24th, as I know. You speak Russian, so maybe it is time to say some greetings in Russian to the Russian viewers.
Okay, let me quickly switch. Дорогие зрители из России, надеемся, что будет интересная партия, и посмотрим.
It's really impressive for me, because I know that Polish and Russian maybe are quite similar, and it's quite easy to learn the second language. But for you, as you are from Netherlands, you speak Dutch and these German languages to learn Russian. Was it hard? Was it difficult?
Yeah, it was hard, and it took a lot of times. It all started when actually I studied together with Roel Boomstra, 2 times world champion also, and we were in a physics lecture and a little bit bored, and we decided to download some app on our phones to learn some Russian words just for fun. That's how it started, and little by little it got a bit more serious. I took some courses, and actually as a drafts player it's easy to practice Russian, because at all the international tournaments you will be able to talk to Russian speaking players from Russia, Ukraine, Belarus.
That's right.
Also other countries.
We are going back to the game because we had moves. Natalia played 34-30. Natalia zagrała 34-30 and Tamara immediately exchanged 14-19. Yeah. I Tamara natychmiast wymieniła bardzo szybko z ruchem 14-19, gdzie Natalia pobiła 25-14 i 9-20. Z Wouterem chwilę porozmawiałem, przybliżając wam jego sylwetkę. Wouter Sipma to arcymistrz międzynarodowy od 1 stycznia 2017 roku. W 2016 roku był 9. zawodnikiem na światowej liście, aktualnie jest 24. Zna język rosyjski. Ja jestem pod wielkim wrażeniem, kiedy osoby z Holandii, z tej całej rodziny niemieckich języków uczą się języka rosyjskiego, bo nie jest to łatwe wyzwanie, ale sam jak tłumaczy, opowiada, że na turniejach warcabowych ma możliwość spotkać się z wszystkimi ludźmi z bloku wschodniego, gdzie można praktykować język i dużo łatwiej w ten sposób się uczyć. What do you think about this quickly played move by Tamara?
Yeah, I think it's a strong one, simple one. It helps to develop her wing. And now white has to think about 2025 and what to do about that one, because it will help to develop all these black pieces. And if white attacks now first on 25, black can develop like this, 1924, and take another 4 temps advantage. So tempo, it means that you're basically closer to the king. Your pieces are more advanced on the board, and in general, this is good to have more tempos. So yeah, I like Tamara's plan in the opening, I think.
I will translate it to Polish because this is really a good value of this knowledge. Jak tłumaczy Walter Sipma, taka wymiana do przodu, czyli przesunięcie pionka po takim wariancie, który pokazał z pola 10 na pole 19, to jest zdobywanie temp. A tempo oznacza, że jesteś bliżej damki przeciwnika, więc wymieniając dobrze i przesuwając swoje piony do przodu we właściwy sposób, jesteś po prostu bliżej damki przeciwnika. Twoja pozycja jest bardziej zaawansowana, jest bardziej aktywna i właśnie w taki sposób należy te wymiany robić, kiedy już gramy na takim poziomie, że przeciwnicy oczywiście nie wpadają na kombinację. Będziemy sobie dużo mówili o tym, że właśnie w debiucie najważniejsze to jest wprowadzić jak najszybciej swoje piony do gry. Walter też pokazał przykład takiej wymiany, gdzie te kamienie stojące na 5, 10, 15 po takiej wymianie mogłyby po prostu zostać rozwinięte, wprowadzone do gry, no bo na początku, wiadomo, w naszej pozycji nie wszystkie piony biorą w grze udział, a z czasem trzeba je przesuwać do gry w taki sposób, żeby ich znaczenie rosło. I just explained about developing pieces in the opening, and now we can just go on with bringing maybe more information about you. You were the European Cadet Champion in 2009 and Juniors in 2012, right?
Yeah, true. In 2009, it was when it actually all started. Up until then,
Okay, we have the attack 30-25 and exchange the default.
right, yes,
Mamy wariant, który Walter mówił, czyli Natalia zaatakowała 30-25. Tamara zagrała 19-24 i po biciu 25-14 czarne zagrały 10-19. No i na pewno pozycja Tamary jest znów dużo aktywniejsza, dużo fajniejsza z tego debiutu. We can go back to this European Cadet and Juniors Championships that you won.
Yeah, that's basically when it started, because until then I did play in some Dutch championships for youth, but I wasn't really successful, and I got a wild card to play in this European Championship, and to my surprise and everyone's surprise, I came out the winner. And since then, I've been spending more and more times on drafts because I like the game.
Natalia
so
played
much.
45. Natalia zagrała 45-40. 15 minut przewagi ma Tamara TANSYKKUZHINA. 15 minutes of advantage in this opening for Tamara. Once again, she has the time advantage.
Yeah, and also I like her position. It's a little bit easier to play, and from this move 45-40, I don't really see the plan, because in drafts in general you need to have a plan. What are you going to do the next moves? And for white, I don't really see it. I would have liked to see, for example, 50-44, some waiting move, and then 32-28 to exchange to the center, developing your wing here, and also inviting black to maybe take to the square on 27 with a really interesting game. But after 45-40, this exchange is not really possible, because of black will give one piece, 24-29, and take 2. And probably it's possible for white. It doesn't lose one piece yet, but the outpost now is really isolated. Black can go to the center, and
it looks like a comfortable game for black. Yeah?
Yes. All white pieces are so far away, whereas the black position is is nicely together, which is in general is better.
Tak, zgodnie z tym, co pisze Adrian, Natalia powinna trochę odważniej. Kolejny raz Natalia w debiucie gra trochę pasywnie, nie rozumiem tego, bo zawsze to była zawodniczka, która szukała takiej aktywności i dobrej, w miarę aktywnej pozycji. Teraz Wouter pokazywał, że zamiast tego ruchu 45-40 wydawało się lepiej zagrać 50-44 i wtedy wymienić 32-28. No i Tamara by pewnie musiała wyjść pionem 16 do gry 21, no i wtedy byłoby naprawdę ciekawie, bo można by było szukać pozycji klinowej. Natomiast w tej sytuacji Natalia sama gra tak, jakby nie miała jakiegoś specjalnego planu. You think that Natalia plays like she doesn't have any plan?
Well, probably she has a plan, but I cannot see it, at least from this move yet. Maybe she wants to do it in another way, to play 40-34 on the next move, and then to exchange 32-28. That could be.
Do you think it is possible for Tamara to go out with 16 and really try to find some interesting game here? Because I cannot believe that Tamara is going to make this aggressive.
You don't think she's going to play aggressively?
I don't think. Still.
Okay. Yes, and what is the disadvantage of this opening by white? She has already lost a lot of temps. I think it's already 10 temps ahead for black. That black can even play 22-27. Just change all the pieces, even take like this. And well, this is not possible.
This is losing. No, but yeah, 30, this is the possibility.
35-30.
Maybe show this combination to the beginning.
It's a nice one. This is actually a logical one to appear. But the players at this level, they will definitely not fall for it. White gives away 3 pieces. Black has to take 3. And the white takes back 4. What's the name of this combination in Polish?
The same as in English, kup Filip.
Kup Filip. The same in Dutch.
Tak, uderzenie Filipa, czyli właśnie takiej wymiany nie można zrobić, bo w ten sposób piony na 18 i 16 znikają, a białe mogą wtedy oddać 3 piony i skasować 4 i to jest bardzo ciekawa sprawa, bo to jest taki powtarzalny sposób przeprowadzania kombinacji w warcabach, czyli wygrywania. I nazywa się to uderzeniem. I uderzenie Filipa, jak wpiszecie w warcaby, w YouTubie, to znajdziecie film, gdzie tłumaczę całe uderzenie Filipa, czyli dokładnie w ten sposób. Tomasz Zimoch pisze, spokojnie, jest plan. Yes, our legend sport commentator Tomasz Zimoch from Polish TV stations and radio stations is with us. He's helping us in making drafts more popular, and he tells that get calm, there is a plan of Natalia for sure.
Okay, yes. We believe in Natalia, that's for sure.
Tak. Wouter, because 5-10 został ruch zagrany, 5-10 was the move made. Do you remember your record with Natalia?
In our
in your games, yeah.
I think I won once and 2 or 3 draws.
Natalia zagrała 40-34, a Tamara 10-14. Tamara played 10-14.
Yeah, is it correct, my memory? Or is it,
I will tell that, but make the move of Tamara 10-14. Because right, that was played. Okay, about your memory. Wouter won against Natalia in 2014 her Hugowart Open, and there were 4 draws. 2015 Bacoli Open in Italy, in 2016 in Rudhof Open in Suriname, in 2016 her Hugowart Open once again, in 2017 Salu Open. And what about your record with Tamara?
Just 1 game, I think, in Cannes. One
right.
Draw.
2015
very exciting
Cannes.
Game, actually.
Oh, okay. Do you think that women play differently against women than men?
Could be, but it also depends on the stage of the competition, because when women play against women, usually it's a very women championship, for example, for the world title, for the European title. So whereas if men play against women, it's usually in an open tournament, and this is already provides some difference. I don't know if women play differently, but maybe men play differently against women.
Natalia changes 32-28. Natalia wymienia 32-28 zgodnie z przewidywaniami Woutera i zgodnie z tym, co pan Tomasz Zimoch nam tutaj pisał. Plan faktycznie był. Natalia changed to 27.
Yes, this is one of the plans you see in this opening as well. To kind of hold the black position. Black cannot move to 23 like this because white will eat pieces. And if black moves to 23 like this, white can give 1, 40, 34, 29 and take 3. So that is the idea of
locking the position
like this.
Tak, to co teraz powstało na warcabnicy, zdziwiła mnie trochę ta wymiana na pierwszy rzut oka, ale dlatego, że Natalia ustawiła coś, co w warcabach nazywa się półrogatką, taka kolumna wychodząca z boku. Natomiast ta półrogatka jest silniejsza, kiedy nie mamy pionów na głównej linii. Natomiast teraz te piony czarnych są izolowane i takie związane, bym powiedział, bo nie można wychodzić ani, tak jak Wouter powiedział, 18-23, ani nie można wychodzić tutaj z pozycji 22-28, bo tutaj wpadłoby się po prostu też 1 za 2. 1 oddajemy, 2 bierzemy, no i mamy w ten sposób przewagę. Więc to ma na celu zamknięcie całego skrzydła tych pionów, które tutaj u Tamary stoją. Oczywiście sposobem wyjścia będzie w pewnym momencie zaatakować tutaj 17-21 i pewnie do tego dojdzie niedługo, no ale teraz nie można tego robić, bo Natalia by podeszła po ataku i kiedy znamy kolejny ruch przeciwnika, którym jest bicie, możemy sami coś zaatakować i wtedy skasować dwa piony. Interesting, and of course probably after 4-9 maybe there will be an attack 17-21 because Tamara has to free herself from this position, but after freeing the position, wouldn't it be better for black, more active once again?
Yes, I prefer a black position, but the game is very much like what we have seen in the first days, I think. For example, after 4-9, 42-38, well, I can wait one more move, 47-42, and then attack. Now white has to make a move, but we have seen this kind of game, let's say 50-44. Natalia stays on her own half of the board, just the 4 rows, and Tamara is coming up a bit closer already. Tamara does have some pieces on 6-11 and 15 which are not active yet, whereas Natalia's position is more solid.
Okay. Already Tamara played 4-9.
All right.
Po tym ostatnim wybiciu białych 32-28, kiedy czarne pobiły 23-32, białe zbiły 38-27 i teraz czarnymi Tamara zagrała 4-9.
What do you think about the position, Damian?
I would prefer black pieces because I believe they are more active and more to attack and bigger chances to take control over the left wing after those exchanges, maybe.
Yes, but we will see. I think Natalia also will still feel fine here.
I believe that there is a difference between playing surrounding and between playing passively, and this is more like passive play than surrounding for me. I just don't feel it as the surrounding.
Yes, I also don't like it.
Natalia played 42-48. Right. Natalia zagrała 42-38 i ruch Tamary.
Yeah, that's why I pointed out the plan of changing to 28 instead of to 27 before, which is a bit more active in my view. But let's see. Also, Natalia, she's ahead in the match, so she doesn't have to take any risks at the moment.
That's right. May I please you for the second of commenting alone, because Tamara is going to make a move and I have to take some tissue because I have spilled the coffee on my my table. Okay, Tamara is going to play, but she hasn't played yet, so feel free to comment whatever you say. But
I will keep an eye on the on the board.
My staff helps me already, so I won't go away.
Okay. Anyway, I'm curious. Of course, most people in the chat they are rooting for Natalia, but are there also any fans for Tamara today watching?
Is there anyone who is the fan of Tamara? Feel free to write. Kto jest za Tamarą? Kto kibicuje Tamarze? Kto wspiera Tamarę?
Don't be afraid.
Yeah, you can also ask the question in Russian language, maybe.
Да, если ты болеешь за Тамару, напишите в чате, пожалуйста. Так что мы так видим.
Da, napiszcie, пожалуйста. Mamy 320 widzów. Pamiętajcie proszę o tym, żeby zostawiać łapki w górę za każdym razem, kiedy dołączacie do tej transmisji. Dzięki temu algorytmy będą lepiej znajdować nasze treści i polecać je innym. I oczywiście subskrybować kanał, bo to jest dopiero 3. dzień zmagań, a czeka nas nawet do 9 rund gry. Nick Hackford says he is the fan of Tamara. Do you believe him?
Yes, I think Natalia also has a lot of fans in the Netherlands actually. Because,
mamy ruchy, we have the moves 17-21, 17-21, Tamara attacked and Natalia immediately played 47-42 and exchange. Po ataku 17-21 czarnych Natalia od razu zagrała 47-42 i czekamy na wybór bicia Tamary. 21 or 22? Which way to take?
I think many players, they would always go to 21, but I would like to make a case for 11-22 because these pieces, 6 and 11, they need to take part in the game. And even though after 11-22, you have this connection of the pieces 22 and 24, which can be bad because there can be some combinations if white makes these columns. But as long as you control your position, it's more central to take to 22. We'll see.
We'll see. I think that Tamara anyway will choose 21. Just not to be too aggressive because she's active after all already. But maybe after just changing to 21, she will be afraid of changing to 27.
Yeah, I don't know, but also to 21 makes sense because you kind of hinder white of bringing these pieces into play.
Yeah.
Because whenever white plays here, you can go to 26, and it's not easy to develop the piece on 46 anymore.
That's right, I agree.
Whereas if you take to 22, then white can nicely develop.
Maciej Sumara się pytał, auto Warcaby są taką zaawansowaną i rozbudowaną grą. My to, co pokazujemy dzisiaj, jest bardzo płytką analizą tak naprawdę. Te głębsze analizy robimy w podsumowaniu dnia o godzinie 21 z arcymistrzem Edwardem Burzyńskim i tam zapraszam do oglądania. Natomiast Warcaby są naprawdę bardzo zaawansowaną i bardzo rozbudowaną grą. A jeżeli byśmy Wołtera prosili o to, żeby pokazał wszystko, co o tej grze wie, to by nam brakło czasu, byśmy mogli siedzieć tydzień przy jednym debiucie i rozbudowywaniu wszystkich wariantów, jakie tutaj są tylko możliwe. Damian Janus, siemaneczko, witam wszystkich serdecznie, witam wszystkich, którzy dołączają. Dziękuję, że wpadacie, bardzo miło was widzieć. Go ahead Tamara, Damir says, okay, we have another fan of Tamara. Domyśliłem się, ale czemu takie liczby? W każdym dniu, jeżeli ktoś jeszcze nie wie, można zdobyć 12 punktów. Jeżeli zawodniczka wygrywa w tej pierwszej rundzie na długi czas, którą właśnie analizujemy, pokazujemy wam, to wtedy wynik dnia jest 12-0 i pokażę wam teraz, jak wyglądają zasady meczu. Proszę, przeskakujemy na chwilę dla tych, którzy nie wiedzą. O godzinie 11 mamy partię klasyczną, godzina 20 minut plus minuta na posunięcie. W przypadku wyniku rezultatywnego, któraś z zawodniczek wygrywa, zdobywa 12 punktów. Jeżeli remis, to spotykamy się ponownie o godzinie 18. Wtedy gramy partię szybką, 20 minut plus 5 sekund za posunięcie. Jeżeli któraś z zawodniczek wygrywa, wynik dnia to 8-4. Jeżeli partia skończy się remisem, to znów kolejna partia, tak jak wczoraj, mieliśmy aż 3 partie. O 19 gramy partię błyskawiczną, 5 minut plus 3 sekundy na ruch. W przypadku zwycięstwa 7-5, a wczoraj padł remis nawet w tej trzeciej partii i wynik dnia został ustalony na 6-6. Za to wynik pierwszego dnia to 8-4 dla Natalii Sadowskiej, która wygrała z Tamarą w partii Rapid. A w ten sposób, sumując te punkty, zbierając te punkty, mamy wynik po 2 dniach 14-10. W momencie, jeżeli któraś z zawodniczek przekroczy wartość 55 punktów, czyli zdobędzie ponad połowę możliwych punktów do zdobycia, mecz się kończy i mamy wyłonioną mistrzynię świata. świata w Warcabach. Okay, I explained the rules for people who joined us and don't know what does it mean that there's 12 points to collect. Tamara took to 22, so it's active. Tamara pobiła 11 na 22.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Also, because if you take to 21, white might attack 31, 26, and you have to go to 22 anyway.
Yeah.
And maybe Tamara likes to keep one more piece on the board.
Tomasz, nie ma sprawy. Krzysiek pyta, Damian, wyspałeś się, bo wczoraj dużo emocji, kiedy znowu będzie Marta. Marta nie chce do nas dołączać, nie wiem czemu. No mało tam ją chwaliliście wczoraj. Sempulno pozdrawia, ja pozdrawiam serdecznie Sempulno z powrotem. Martyna Siwek i Józef Lombardo się zgadzają, tylko Natalia Czardziejka z Mławy. Wszyscy tutaj ostro kibicują Natalii, trzymajcie kciuki i będziemy jak najbardziej jej kibicować. No wczoraj przy Marcie był rekord oglądalności, dziękuję wam za taką frekwencję, chcemy Martę. Jeżeli Marta nas oglądasz, no to słyszysz jaki jest wynik i odzew na twoją transmisję wczorajszą ze mną. Ludzie chcą ciebie z powrotem, może się skusi jeszcze raz do nas dołączy. Voter, what will be the plan of Natalia? Do you think that making the column 44, 39, 33 is the plan?
Yeah, this makes sense to hinder the black development. If you play 44, black again cannot come to 23 anymore because there will be 33, 29. Take one, white eats 3 pieces. So that makes sense, but I don't know what are also the ambitions of Natalia, because if you play this move, black is able to change all the pieces, 22, 28, and 24, 29, which will leave a very open position, and this will for sure end in a draw. So, and if she wants to prevent this exchange, she can either play 34-30, I think, or 31-26, and I think the last move may be the most interesting one, because it also keeps the piece on 16 on its place.
Yeah, maybe now surrounding is starting to look quite nice, yeah?
Yes. Now black will at least have to think about how to build the position exactly. Yeah.
Warcabowa partia gry to najczęściej plan gry przeciwko planowi gry. I kiedy my prowadzimy taki długoterminowy właśnie plan rozprowadzania, formowania swoich pionów na warcabnicy w taki sposób, żeby one tworzyły jak najsilniejsze formacje, musimy przewidywać, co przeciwnik zagra, próbować mu to utrudniać. I takim jednym z powtarzających się planów w tym meczu jest, kiedy jedna zawodniczek próbuje zająć centrum planszy, czyli środek warcabnicy, a druga próbuje ograniczyć ją w tym środku, czyli przejść do planu gry na tak zwane okrążenie. Bardzo trudna sprawa w warcabach stupolowych i na najwyższym poziomie światowym nawet mało który zawodnik decyduje się na wybór takiego planu gry. W warcabach 64-polowych okrążenie robi się bardzo często, nawet nieświadomie, kiedy gramy na bandy, jak jesteśmy początkującymi zawodnikami. Ale w warcabach stupolowych okrążenie to niesamowicie trudny plan. I just explained that surrounding is a very, very difficult plan in international drafts, because in Brazilian drafts 8x8 it is quite simple to play to the edges of the board, and sometimes even if you don't know, you play the surrounding in the 8x8 drafts board, but here in the international drafts there are not many players that really like to play surroundings because it's tough plan to play.
Yes, I have always loved to do that ever since I was a young boy. So it's in my nature also to sometimes to go to the edges, but through the years I have learned that indeed there's really a risk that goes with it, and I've also learned it the hard way sometimes, leading to some losses. That's so right. I prefer to play a bit more reliably nowadays, at least not to surround in every game, just to only see if the position is gives a possibility for surrounding, and not surround by default.
So do you think that Natalia will choose this move 31-26?
Yeah, I think it's one of the moves that kind of is on her palette of playing. because still it doesn't.
Maybe let's explain the palette of playing, because also it's interesting word, interesting term that we didn't explain yet on the broadcast. Can you tell anything more about that?
Yeah, so what I mean by the palette of playing is just the playing style of both players. Natalia, she really likes to have a solid position without any weaknesses, but also a little bit of the surrounding, what we just talked about, and move like 31-26 is part of this surrounding plan, and also nicely developing your pieces afterwards. Mm-hmm. Maybe like 41-36. Black can go here. Don't know, just playing some moves here. Mm-hmm. And white will keep on waiting for black to make a decision. And I think, she's looking for a way to develop these pieces.
Natalia played 50-44.
Oh, okay. That's, as we talked about before, now 22-28 is possible, but Natalia may also think Tamara is not going to play like this because she's behind in the match. Mm-hmm. A draw doesn't bring her anything, and this is also part of the psychological aspect of the match.
To, o czym porozmawialiśmy z Wouterem, zapytałem się go o tak zwaną paletę gry. To jest bardzo ciekawa sprawa, że warcaby składają się z dziesiątek tysięcy, milionów różnych możliwości i różnych planów gry i one często, wybór ich często zależy od tego, jaką mamy osobowość, jakie mamy predyspozycje. I są typy ruchów, typy pozycji, które na przykład nie powstaną w partii pomiędzy tymi dwiema zawodniczkami, dlatego, że ich osobowość nie prowadzi ich do gry w ten sposób. Nie zagrają na przykład typu pozycji, który nazywa się atakiem Rosenburga, tak już mówiąc bardzo terminologią specjalistyczną, dlatego, że w ich ocenie to jest zbyt ostre i nie przynosi takiej wartości dodanej do tego meczu. Dlatego nie odkryjemy w trakcie komentarza tych gier warcabowych, które oglądamy, wszystkiego na temat warcabów, bo jest to niemożliwe, bo ich gra po prostu w ten sposób nie funkcjonuje. And Tamara exchanges. Ostatni ruch Natalii to jest 50-44, a teraz Tamara zagrywa 22-28. Mamy bicie 33-22, 18-27, 31-22. I 24-29. Znowu 34 bije na 23 i 19 bije na 17. I w ten sposób mamy 4, 6, 8, 10, po 11 pionów, otwartą pozycję, nie dzieje się nic. Okay. That exchange has happened and they are not nice to us. They don't give us an interesting content. They just want us to talk about everything but not the position.
It seems like it, yes. It's a pity. That the position is opened so much. Yes, maybe they like to keep the distance also on the board, not only for the virus. But I think, it's purely a psychological thing. Natalia offers this exchange, but Tamara says, I'm also not afraid to take an exchange, because in the previous games, even when the position was open, she got some chances, and I don't know if we count the temps now. I can imagine that still black is maybe 2 or 3 temps
maybe
ahead.
2 or 3 ahead, yeah.
So maybe Tamara wants to say, I can live with a little bit of advantage, and it can still be that black has just a tiny bit of initiative here.
I think that for next 10 moves we won't have anything very interesting in the game. It will be just developing pieces once again in the open position. So we have plenty of time to speak with you, with the chat. If you have any questions, if you have any ideas, anything that you want us to explain, just feel free to ask. Czy opanowanie centrum ma podobne znaczenie co w szachach? Oczywiście tak, centrum jest bardzo istotne. We got the question from English philology. Is center of the board the same is important like in the chess?
Yes, definitely. So the squares on the middle board, 28-23, but also basically these squares, these are the most important strategical squares. If if you control this one, you are likely to have an advantage. And in the position right now, you can see that black is already closer to these squares than white. And that's why black has a little bit of initiative, I think.
You like to play that way, with many changes and open positions?
Not me. I like to have as complicated positions as possible. This is what makes it challenging for me.
Yeah. Sometimes I have situations like if someone changes a lot, I just don't want to play anymore and start to play fast, and I cannot win that game with, for example, weaker players, theoretically weaker. I also like to have an interesting game because this is challenging. Yeah, sometimes I treat the drafts game as a challenge for myself to find a nice solution, nice continuation. And once the game goes like this, it's a way to interrupt my attitude during the game. Don't you have something like that? You can always focus on the game despite on the fact how your opponent plays.
Yeah, so this has also grown with experience. Of course, when I was younger, I never liked also when my opponents changed the pieces, but I've learned to get a certain fighting spirit and to see it as a weakness also. If my opponent changes the pieces, it means, okay, he's maybe afraid or doesn't dare to play a complicated position against me. I take it as a strong point for myself and to pressure even more, not to give up. But here I think this exchange is just a little bit better for black, so I'm not sure.
We have moves made and we are talking 41, yes, 47, 6, 11 and 40, 41. Mieliśmy ruchy, Natalia zagrała 41, 37, Tamara 6, 11 i białymi Natalia 46, 41, czyli po prostu wyciąganie pionów tych, które nie brały udziału w grze, do gry, do środka planszy, tam gdzie będą bardziej aktywne. Just developing pieces, nothing special happens. What do you think about piece 1 now in this position?
Yeah, I like it. Base pieces in general, they are good to have because in the end game they can play a special role, and if there is no need to move them, then it's better not to do that. So it's good that it's on 1 and not on 6, for example.
Okej, teraz zapytam Woutera o to, jakby miał na przykład od strony i białych, i czarnych wykonać najbliższe, powiedzmy, 5-6 posunięć, jakby budował pozycję. Możemy sobie takie ćwiczenie zrobić ciekawe. Jestem ciekaw, jakby budował i białych, i czarnych pozycje, no bo trzeba mieć taki plan gry krótkoterminowy. I explained in Polish what I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you for next 5 or 6 moves, how would you build up the position for both sides? Meanwhile, we had 16-21 and 37-32 from Natalia. Tamara zagrała 16-21 i Natalia zagrała 37-32. Can you do these moves right now and after that answer my question?
Yes. Actually, when you asked the question for the first time, this would not be my move because I don't think you should spend moves here when you're not yet on 18 and 19. I would try to build like this until 22 and see if I can get control of 27. So, for example, 14, 9, 12, 18, 37, 32. And now maybe I don't play the strongest moves for white, but like this, try to get hold of the square 22, 27, I mean, sorry. Yeah. Still, it will not maybe give a great position, but as a way of playing. So let's see, 16, 21. Yeah, I'm not too sure where the piece on 21 will go. If it just goes to 26, I think you just lose 2 moves. Which could have been played also in the center of the board.
Edward Burzyński always says that it's nice to have piece 16 or 35 active, but sometimes it just comes with losing tempos.
Yeah, exactly. This is always the trade-off between that. Also, white could now do 35 develop it, but also here I think it's just losing 2 moves in this open position.
And also black could exchange this piece or just leave it on the edge of the board, and it's not about interrupting anything for black.
No. So with black I would definitely play at least these 2 moves and then see if I go to 22, 23, maybe even 24. But let's see. I also have a question for you. I'm curious. How's the atmosphere in the hotel? How's the atmosphere between the players? Is it tense? Is it friendly? How are they doing? Can you see anything from their faces?
I see all the smiles, all the friendly attitude from everyone, and also I have visits from Alexei Czyżew and Tamara. Tamara asking me about some things in the city. Alexei is coming to me and saying that the audience that we get with the broadcast is amazing, and give me compliments. So everything is fine, everything is in friendly atmosphere, and it's great. It's great to organize such a game, such a matches. We have another moves. Tamara played 11-16 and Natalia played 41-37. Tamara zagrała 11-16, a Natalia zagrała 41-37. What do you think about this?
Both players are just still building their positions by making this very small column. Tamara at least wants to shows that she's interested in the square 27, but before she goes there, she will need some more presence in the center.
That's right.
Natalia is just developing the pieces, which is normal.
Mieliśmy pytanie od Marcina. Marcina, jak wielu jest na świecie zawodowych warcabistów? Wcześniej Wouter poruszał ten temat. Wouter szacuje, że około 20-30 na świecie warcabistów utrzymuje się profesjonalnie z gry w warcaby. Mam nadzieję, że razem z waszą obecnością tutaj popularność gry w warcaby będzie rosła, będą rosły nagrody, będą rosły stypendia, jak ministerstwo nam wreszcie przywróci ten status Polskiego Związku Warcabowego i będziemy się w Polsce, a potem na całym świecie bardzo z warcabami rozwijać. Dzięki temu, że wchodzimy z warcabami do internetu, ta popularność naprawdę szybko rośnie. Mamy coraz więcej fajnych narzędzi, fajnych miejsc do znajdowania wiedzy. Zapraszam na przykład na stronę Warcaby TV, jakby ktoś chciał się nauczyć, zdobyć kursy z nauki gry, gdzie wykorzystuję całe swoje doświadczenie i robię to w formie wideo, żeby też ułatwić przekaz. Więc śmiało, niech ta cała nasza społeczność warcabowa rośnie w Polsce jako przykład, a potem na świecie. W Polsce może nie mało, ale w Polsce aktualnie nikt. Do niedawna była to Natalia Sadowska, no ale z uwagi na brak turniejów, brak nagród, Natalia też musiała pójść do pracy etatowej. Leszek Matlicki pisze, że 25 około osób, więc to by się wpisywało w te ramy, które zaproponował wcześniej Wouter. Michele Lucci. Hi Damian, hi Wouter. Many greetings from Bacoli. You are doing a very great job. Wonderful organization. Thank you very much for this kind words. And always Bacoli was a nice place to visit and to play with this beautiful surrounding of Italy, of Vesuvio.
Yeah, I have great memories from the tournament there, organized by Michele and his brother Giacomo. Right. So greetings back to you.
I still have the photographs from Pompeii and from the Vesuvio that we are visiting together with you.
Yes, with a great group of draughts players from all different countries. I remember very nice pictures.
Yeah. How do you remember the Vesuvio trip? Because I was really afraid on the top of the volcano.
Yes, especially there with the small pieces of rocks. I don't know how you call it. And there I was walking on flip-flops.
Yeah, you had flip-flops.
And, well, I survived, but sometimes my feet got a little bit warm, so to say.
I got really dizzy. I thought that those were last seconds of my life. I totally felt like I'm going down from this cliff. Yeah.
Yes. It was a very risky excursion, maybe for the drafts world. We could have lost many important people there.
That's right. No, I will explain in Polish about this excursion because it's really nice to remember the souvenir in your mind. W 2014 roku właśnie tutaj Michele Lucci zabrał nas na wycieczkę na Wezuwiusza, bo graliśmy w Napoli, blisko Napoli, czyli na polu, na takim półwyspie i w miejscowości Bacoli. Przepiękne miejsce, świetne turnieje. No i zrobili nam niespodziankę w postaci wycieczki na Wezuwiusza, tak? Przejechaliśmy na miejsce autokarem, no i tam przewodnik zaczyna opowiadać, że pójdziemy dosyć nietypową ścieżką, jeżeli chodzi o zwiedzanie Wezuwiusza. No i tam podeszliśmy sobie do barierek, zobaczyliśmy krater, a nagle idziemy koło ścieżki, on mówi, no to chodźcie tutaj w górę. No i zaczynamy wchodzić w górę, po prostu usypem wulkanicznym, tam nie było żadnej ścieżki ani nic. I nagle znaleźliśmy się na skraju, gdzie z jednej strony, gdzie mieliśmy ścieżkę o szerokości może 1,5 metra i po prawej stronie przepaść w krater, myślę, że ze 150 metrów, a po lewej 1200 metrów do morza przepaść w stronę zbocza po prostu wulkanu. I szliśmy po prostu samym skrajem przez kilkaset metrów albo ponad kilometr nawet tej wycieczki. Nikt się nie spodziewał, tam żadnych barierek, niczego. Tylko z jednej strony przepaść, z drugiej strony przepaść. Ja się pogodziłem już ze śmiercią, jak tylko tam stałem na skraju tego, a Wouter był właśnie w japonkach i mówi, i ciężko było to wszystko zaakceptować, przeżyć, ale mega pamiątka, ale w momencie, kiedy zobaczyliśmy, co nas czeka, to wszyscy z duszą na ramieniu szli. Yuri Anikeyev, question to Damian. As we can see also from the stream, drafts in Poland are enough popular despite of lack many GMI in a country. Could you explain it? How do you attract people to drafts? I think that high quality streams, that being just friendly to the people, just loose, just taking it not too serious enough, and maybe just being the friend for the people who are seeing this, and also trying not the standard ways of promoting drafts is a way. But also, it's easier for us because we have Natalia Sadowska, we have the product, we have the girl that is 2 times world champion and is fighting for the 3rd title in Poland, in Warsaw, in beautiful palace, and also using your business attitude, your business relationships from many areas of the life. It is possible, but it comes with hard work, because last half of year was just working from early morning till late evenings on making drafts popular in Poland, and now it works because we are in all the biggest media and we have the audience, we have the partners that want to work with us in further times, further events. So I believe that it comes with just hard work and attitude and good vibrations, and audience is growing, and we can do it providing just the streams, for example, like this. But it's a progress that lasts months and years, maybe. That is my opinion.
I think you're doing a wonderful job like this, and I was thinking, you teach the Polish people, you teach them drafts. The draft players, you teach Polish, and those who are already speak Polish and drafts, they just enjoy the stream. So it's a win for everyone.
Yeah, that's right. Tamara zagrała 13-18. Wouter Sipma is also a draft streamer, so his content is really nice for people who want to develop the drafts playing level, because Wouter is of course the Grandmaster International, and you can follow him on his channel Wouter Sipma, but also on other channel and Drafts 10x10. You also sometimes a host of some programs, yes?
Yes. This is an initiative of draft player Matthias de Kruijf and some of his colleagues. And they also have this dream to provide high-level streaming in drafts, and really to help it go to the next level for drafts, and also promote drafts, because I think it's absolutely necessary to do it in this modern times. Just doing the same things will not work.
Yeah, best regards and also congratulations to Matthias de Kruijf, mentioned by Wouter, because he's doing the channel Drafts 10x10, and they are making really professional looking streams. But there comes, in my opinion, some problem, because frequency of the streams is necessary. You need a lot of content, a lot of broadcasts, I believe many broadcasts during the week, and not only 1 for 2 weeks, to bring people, to make people live with drafts, and this is the amount of time spent in internet with drafts is necessary to promote it. What do you think about that? Because quality for me is great, but it's not enough.
Yes, absolutely. If you really want to engage a crowd, then definitely you need to have also the high frequency, and they need to know that, for example, every Thursday they can watch the stream. Then they will also remember that, and when it's Thursday, they will start looking for it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to do the promotion of a stream every time from zero. Kind of people will already know that it's there. But of course, this high frequency, it takes a large dedication, and maybe even more than just organizing a few high quality events.
High quality events, but we have to monetize it. We have to earn money with that, yeah? We have to be professional, we have to find sponsors, we have to find partners, and we can provide a lot of interesting content of drafts, I believe, internationally. I believe we are in good way. Recently I have been elected the Polish Drafts Federation president, and in my plans it is to make a few drafts channels in Poland that will be streaming drafts content many days in a week, because we need it. We need a place that can attract people to show drafts, to explain drafts, to play with people, to play with viewers, etc., etc. We have to try to find new tools that will be interesting and won't be that common as just playing, that will be a fun, that will bring the fun to the drafts, because we have to make it looking just like an entertainment, yeah, and not only a serious sport, serious game, which indeed drafts are. And then it is possible for me. I see the space to get even more popular with the day after day, but it comes with a big work, and frequency for me is the number one priority.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think in this regard, we can also learn a lot from esports. For example, there are some computer games, video games that are played online, and streamers are already streaming for 5 or 10 years. And if you look at their way of working, it's super professional, and of course they have come a long way. They have spent all those years, but I believe that 5 or 10 years from now, we can also be at that level.
Oczywiście, of course. Mówimy o tym, czego potrzebujemy w Warcabach, żeby się rozwijać. Oczywiście potrzebujemy, moim zdaniem, jak największej liczby takich zdarzeń jak ten mecz. Oczywiście mamy Natalię Sadowską, tak jak pisze pan poseł, pan Tomasz Zimoch. Natalia jest świetnym, tak w cudzysłowie powiem, narzędziem do promocji Warcabów, dlatego że sukces napędza popularność dyscypliny, a teraz moim zadaniem jako prezesa Polskiego Związku Warcabowego jest stwarzać okazję do tego, żeby ta popularność Warcabów w Polsce rosła jeszcze bardziej, i mam nadzieję, że z takimi materiałami jak ten, z takimi gośćmi międzynarodowymi będzie się udawało. Postaram się, aby Polski Związek Warcabowy był zaangażowany w powstawanie jak największej ilości takich treści internetowych, i nie tylko, które ułatwią dostęp do tego, żeby się nauczyć grać w Warcaby, żeby pograć, żeby mieć po prostu przyjemność z gry w Warcaby i czerpać z tego rozrywkę. Hank Kalk, thank you very much for your kind words about promoting drafts. What else do we have on the chat? Okay, because nothing more happens on the board. Natalia is looking for the plan. Możecie Woutera odwiedzić na jego kanale. Your channel is just your name and second name, yeah? Wouter Sipma.
Yes, at the moment.
Yeah. Wouter Sipma is the name of the channel. Go, subscribe, follow, and every Thursday you start your streams right now?
I had this plan, but at the moment I cannot find the time for it, to combine it with my job. I hope in the future I will be able to work less and spend more time on drafts.
If it would be possible to live from drafts, would you like this life?
Yes, I'm thinking about it actually quite a lot, because say 2 years ago I more or less gave up on the professional top players life to try and train for the highest, to become the world champion, or how you may call it. But being a draft professional can also happen in other ways, also as a streamer, also as maybe entertainer, writer, whatever. It doesn't only have to be about playing. And yes, it is a dilemma I have. I would like to live the life as a drafts player, and some players also do it. For example, Alexei Domchev as well. He's maybe not the world champion, but still he's the professional drafts player, and he dedicates his life to it, and he likes it a lot.
It's like in the tennis, for example. There are not many professional tennis players, but there are a lot of people who can live from the tennis, like coaches, like people providing the courts, the club sections, the partnership on the many different fields. And it is also possible after we monetize drafts. I believe that we have to talk about it because it's not only the problem in Poland, but as far Netherlands are better with the money in drafts, of course, and the quality of mental thinking about international drafts is better in Netherlands, and I try all the time to change the mental thinking about drafts in Poland, but we need to be partners in it, in promoting drafts, so it's really nice to cooperate while commenting this event, but also there are many steps, many nice decision ideas that we can provide into drafts, into internet life of drafts. And I hope that we'll be still talking, cooperating many times, and I think you also look forward some initiative like this.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to work together here as a drafts community in order to spread popularity of the game. Yeah.
John Villan says more advanced piece seems more valuable because of the tempo required to reach the position. Is therefore initializing exchange of own advanced pieces a mistake or to be generally avoided? I don't get this question.
Yeah, so I think what John means is that whenever you have a piece which is far ahead, so for example this 21 piece now for black, indeed it took this piece a few moves to get there, so maybe that's more valuable. And indeed, if you get a strong piece on each of these squares, it's one of the strong strategic squares. And as he says, if you let it to be exchanged, it can mean that indeed white is easily getting those stamps back. And in general, it's good to change forward indeed, especially if you can exchange one of these ones. But it may also harm the white position, the structure of the position. So this is always the trade-off between structure and tempos.
That's right. Pan Tomasz Zimoch pisze, że Natalia jest warcabowym Messim. W dodatku Natalia na pewno za takie określenie bardzo by panu Tomaszowi podziękowała, bo w końcu Messi to jej ulubiony piłkarz grający dla FC Barcelony. Messi is favorite player of Natalia from FC Barcelona. Do you like them also, the Catalonian club?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think everyone who likes football likes Barcelona. I'm not one of maybe their biggest fans, but nowadays with Ronald Koeman as a coach and of course Frenkie de Jong as one of the most important players, it's interesting to follow again.
Martina asks you, voter, what is the current situation of drafts in the Netherlands? Are they still developing so strongly, and what influences it?
Yes, I think there are really two sides in the Netherlands. One is drafts at the top level, which I think is still going strong. We have support from our National Olympic Committee, from which few players can live professionally from drafts. So you have Alexander Bajakin, Roel Boomstra, Martijn van IJzendoorn, Jan Groenendijk, Jitse Slump. So they can focus on drafts and develop, and I think our academy, so to say, is very well developed, and that way we have been able to train some GMIs in the past few years. But on a broader sense, I think drafts is also in a difficult position also in the Netherlands with the amount of members of the drafts clubs. So in that sense, popularity, maybe is diminishing, and we need some new initiatives for that, I think.
Only permanent thing in life is the change, and changes are required, and we have to change many things to change the points of view of the people and to change even our own point of view. And we are working on it, and we have to accept the changes. We have to accept the changes in the federations, national federations, in the world federations. We have to follow it, and I believe with great attitude, we have the great game, great sport that is possible to be promoted in many ways. We have to just unite our community, and together we are able to make a really, really great things with us. Meanwhile, Natalia played 39-33 and still developing her pieces. What will be the next move of Tamara? Co następnego zagra Tamara?
I think 9-13. So in general, when you build your position, you want to keep it closed. Now there's a hole, which can be dangerous for some combinations, so I expect her to fill this hole on the next move.
Tak, Wouter mówi o tym, że następny ruch prawdopodobnie 9-13 pozwoli zakryć dziurę na polu 13. Niebezpiecznym jest trzymać dziury pomiędzy swoimi pionami, dlatego że to umożliwia zrobienie damki przeciwnikowi, przeprowadzenie zwycięskiej kombinacji. I piony, jak ja już powtarzałem nieraz, powinny się układać w formacje, być zwarte, łączyć się w takie kolumny, na przykład jeden pion za drugim, 3 po kolei, czy w jakieś jeszcze bardziej rozbudowane, złożone układy pionów. Dlatego kolejny ruch według Woutera to 9-13 i wprowadzanie piona do gry. 10 minut na zegarze po stronie Tamary TANSYKKUZHINY więcej. To nie jest już tak duża przewaga, jak było ostatnio. 10 minutes of advantage of Tamara, of time advantage. This is not that much as we saw in the previous games. What do you think about that?
Yes, both players, they have a lot of time still remaining. With this time control of 18 minutes plus 1 minute per move, you can think of some schedules which you want to have during the game. Say after 20 minutes, I would like to have, I don't know, this 1 hour. After 30 minutes, I would like to have 45 minutes. And well, I think both players, they are really good in their time. They're still above 1 hour, so no problems there. And then 10 minutes is really a small difference.
About Natalia, the move 30-28, I believe, will look just quite strong.
Yes. I also wonder where white exactly is going. So say black will play 9-13. White can make one more waiting move, 44-39, just to finish the build-up.
But maybe now 18-23 can be good or not?
Yeah, 18-23. I don't know if black already wants to kind of show her cards to go to this square. Sometimes it's better to control square not by going there, but by standing around it.
Bardzo fajna, bardzo ciekawa uwaga. Czasami lepiej kontrolować pole nie stojąc bezpośrednio na tym polu, ale stojąc blisko, stojąc obok tego pola. Bardzo fajna, ciekawa uwaga. No i tak jak Wouter mówi, to jest taka, można powiedzieć, zimna wojna ze strony białych i czarnych, bo to jest bardziej wyczekiwanie siebie nawzajem, czekanie aż przeciwnik pokaże, co on tak naprawdę w partii chce zagrać, no i przygotowanie na te informacje, chęć uzyskania tej informacji ze strony przeciwnej dopiero pozwoli nam dograć swój plan gry. It's like a cold war, waiting for your opponent to make a move, to just show the idea, show the plan, show the strategy, and then you can just bring your strategy that will be the counter plan to the one that the opponent has.
Yeah, exactly. In poker, you also don't want to show your cards. So
that's right.
You should wait. I think if you play 18-23, white may attack. Black will probably have to close, and then white can make a nice classical position here.
That's right. About poker you mentioned, and I believe that this is the topic that we can talk a little bit more, because also there is the website of playerly.com, and this website is bringing the courses of mind sports like poker, like chess, like drafts or checkers, and Go. And what is interesting, this is the site that was made by chess players who started to play poker. And they believe, and they know it maybe because they are sure about that, mind sports are going to grow in general, in total. And we have many common things between our games. And do you think there are similar things with poker and drafts?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, for both you need to have to use your brain, basically. It's both a game of logic. Of course, the materials are different. We play with pieces, they play with cards. Yeah, and I'm sure that for poker you also need to train and remember some known variants, some known
because you have many strategies also in poker, yeah? I have read few books about poker, and it's really interesting for me. For example, Dan Harrington, it was about some MTT tournaments. I don't know if you played more with Texas Hold'em, for example, but I was a fan during some periods of my life. And for example, he told that in early position, while playing poker, when you have the small pocket on your hand, pocket of pair, you should raise in 20% of cases and limp, for example, in 80% of cases. And it's not possible for you to remember what is the percentage of your play. So if you have the watch, and if the seconds are between 48 and 60, those 12 seconds, you, for example, raise, because this is 20% of the whole clock, and if the seconds are different, then you limp and just call. Really nice tactic, for example, really nice strategy that is not seeable for everyone, and makes it really, really interesting to hold and bring on the statistics, because this will be in the long term just 20% to 80%. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really smart solution indeed. Of course, the big difference between poker and drafts is that in poker you don't have complete information. You don't know the cards of your opponents, whereas in drafts you have complete information because you can see the whole board, obviously.
But maybe you don't have this complete information because you don't know the plan of your opponent. Maybe
that's true.
Maybe the plan of your opponent is like the hidden cards.
Yes, in a way, maybe.
Because like in poker, you have to guess what cards your opponent has, and here you have to guess what strategy your opponent has.
Yes.
Fajnie sobie porozmawialiśmy o tutaj podobieństwach w sportach umysłowych. Tutaj też, pomimo tego, że w pokerze mówi się, że czynnikiem losowym jest rozdawanie kart, to w miarę jak gramy bardzo dużo tych turniejów, no to ta losowość się wyrównuje. I można powiedzieć, że że poker jest również sportem umysłowym, który wymaga bardzo dobrego przygotowania i teoretycznego, i strategicznego, i taktycznego. No i tam są oczywiście pieniądze. Wiadomo, tutaj widzę, że o pieniądzach sporo mówicie i o działaniu federacji międzynarodowych w różnych sportach, ale tutaj w tę dyskusję póki co się włączać nie będę. Będziemy mówić więcej o tym, co się dzieje na warcabnicy. Czy jesteście zadowoleni poziomem tej partii, czy oczekiwaliście większej mobilności, większej dawki emocji? Mam nadzieję, że powoli te piony zawodniczek będą coraz bliżej siebie, coraz więcej ciekawych rzeczy będzie się działo. My w tym czasie dobijamy do 400 widzów, może już to pękło, a u mnie jeszcze nie odświeżyło, nie wiem. Dziękuję wam, że jesteście. Pamiętajcie koniecznie o wszystkich pozytywnych reakcjach. Mam nadzieję, że na takie zasłużyliśmy. Typu łapki w dół, co ja gadam, no mi to zapamiętacie. Łapki w górę, tylko łapki w górę. I oczywiście dodatkowo subskrypcje, dlatego że to jest trzeci dzień. Dzisiaj kolejne 12 punktów turniejowych do rozdania. Ten wynik meczu 14-10 zasili się o kolejne 12 punktów. W jakim stosunku? Czy będzie to 12 dla których
Damian, I will go for a quick toilet break. I'll be right back.
Okej, it's not a problem. Czy te 12 punktów będzie zasilone na konto jednej zawodniczki, czy podzielą się nimi, to się właśnie w ciągu dzisiejszego dnia okaże. A po dzisiejszym dniu mamy dzień przerwy. Jutro nie gramy, jutro zawodniczki nabierają siły, jutro będą odpoczywały po to, żeby we wtorek wrócić ze zdwojoną siłą, z jeszcze potężniejszą grą, z jeszcze ciekawszymi materiałami dla nas do analizy. Jest dobrze, mówicie, Adrian z Katowic tutaj daje nam łapkę, jak Adrian mówi, że okej, no to fajnie. Kasia mówi, że już 400 pękło, że było 409 widzów. Jak wam się podoba komentarz Woutera? W Polsce, tak jak mówiliśmy, nie mamy żadnego arcymistrza międzynarodowego, nie mamy żadnego GMI, żeby zapewnić wam najwyższą jakość komentarza. najbardziej światowy poziom, no musimy prosić za granicę o to, żeby to było po angielsku, musimy sprowadzać tutaj komentatorów spoza Polski, no bo inaczej w Polsce no, najwyższy tytuł to jest Mistrz Międzynarodowy, taki tytuł ma 4 osób, w tym Natalia Sadowska oczywiście, którą oglądamy na kamerce live i którą oglądamy w trakcie całego tego wydarzenia. Atka pisze, uważam nawet, że warcaby są w pewnym sensie trudniejsze do nauczenia od szachów, ocena pozycji jest mniej intuicyjna dla początkującego niż w szachy, a reguł można się nauczyć w 3-4 godziny szachów. Mamy Edwarda, no tak, niektórzy, tak jak Jacek i słusznie pewnie traktują Edwarda Burzyńskiego jako polskiego arcymistrza międzynarodowego. Ma te polskie korzenie, mógł nawet w Polsce mieszkać, z tego jak znam jego historię, no ale obecnie reprezentuje Litwę. Natomiast z jego nastawieniem, z sympatycznością, zaangażowaniem w życie warcabowe, produkcję tak wielu wspaniałych publikacji warcabowych, książek, które znajdziecie na stronie daminator.eu, a wczoraj słyszałem, że już się sprzedała rekordowa liczba książek warcabowych właśnie ze strony Daminator.eu. Tam są debiuty, tam jest jak zacząć grać, tam jest jak rozwijać swoje warcabowe rzemiosło. A jeżeli szukacie materiałów, które są multimedialne, czyli kursów wideo z nauką gry w warcaby, to oczywiście zapraszam Was do moich kursów, które są dostępne na stronie warcaby.tv. Jak się zalogujecie, zarejestrujecie na stronie, to macie całą sekcję filmy, całą naukę gry uporządkowaną, czyli filmy, które robiłem na YouTubie, a jeżeli chcecie z testami multimedialnie nauczyć się, no to są tam dostępne kursy już na pierwszej głównej stronie. Więc zapraszam serdecznie. Czy Leszek Pędzicki pyta, czy można zrobić wyniki każdej rundy, a na ostatniej rubryce wynik po wszystkich rundach nie można, ale można sobie policzyć z tego, co jest dostępne. Jeżeli mamy 14 w drugiej kolumnie, no to bardzo łatwo to sobie odjąć jedno od drugiego i wiemy, jaki był wynik w drugiego dnia. Inaczej by to było nieprzejrzyste, panie Leszku, więc od tego odejdę. Okay, we have the move 9-14, and what happens then, voter, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think now Natalia should think a little bit on how to move to the next row here, to 28 or to 29, 33-28 or 42-28 as you mentioned, or just to wait maybe 2 more moves. And yes, because as we said after this exchange, black has a little bit of temp advantage. White needs to be a little bit careful on not to make it too easy. For example, what could happen is 33-28, say 14-19, 44-39. Now this exchange to the side, and then suddenly the piece on 28 is a bit isolated. Black could get some surrounding chances against this piece. So White should think a little bit about this.
Okay. Do you think in how many moves we will get to some close and interesting position from this situation?
Well, I think it will take another 5 or at least 10 moves, I think, would be realistic. And still it can be open, so there is no guarantee.
I'm wondering why the games played with the rapid time during this match so far more interesting than the classical ones.
Yes, this I've also been thinking about it. Yeah, I'm not sure actually. Maybe neither player wants to take risk in the long games because
it's 4 points, yeah, after you draw the game. So it's not.
And there's a greater risk to be punished with more time. If you take a big risk, then there's a bigger chance that your opponent will find how to punish you for that. Whereas in rapid, you can maybe take a little bit more risk, and your opponent will not have the time to calculate all the variations.
Ponad 400 osób nieźle wczoraj, przebiliśmy już granicę 800 osób, więc oczywiście nieźle, ale ciągle liczymy na to, że będzie was jeszcze więcej, że będziemy was zachęcać do tego, żeby śledzić wydarzenia. A chess24.pl, czyli proszę, ogromna grupa, ogromna rzesza szachistów, pisze bardzo fajny komentarz, życzymy powodzenia Natalii, a na oglądanie szachów zapraszamy na nasz kanał. Oczywiście też sam oglądam wasz kanał, dziękuję bardzo za słowa te ciepłe i za życzenia, które oczywiście Natalii przekażemy. Wielu szachistów kibiców, kibicuje Natalii, wspiera nas już nawet w samym procesie organizacji, przygotowania do meczu, więc bardzo fajnie widzieć, jak te nasze środowiska szachowe i warcabowe współpracują, przenikają się i są dla siebie jak najbardziej życzliwe. A polski arcymistrz Andrzej Słapiński kliknął subskrybuj, nie wiedząc co to jest. Dziękuję bardzo. Konisko popularny na Lidrawcy i na Kurniku jest naszym widzem. Rewelacja. Fajnie, że osoby, które długo w Warcabach też nie były widoczne, wracają do gry, coraz częściej pokazują się i mam nadzieję, że nie tylko trenują online, ale jak wrócą turnieje na żywo, to też będą bardzo chętnie w nich uczestniczyć. Mamy w Polsce GMI siłą gry, tylko kategorie niezdobyte podobno. Wiesz co, tutaj bym polemizował. Według mojej wiedzy Natalia nie czuje się, jakoby grała z siłą GMI, a pozostali MI są trochę mniej aktywni ostatnio. Myślę, że w Polsce jeszcze nie mamy nikogo z siłą gry GMI, moim zdaniem. Bardzo dobrze zrobiłeś, Andrzej. Werin przyznał oczywiście, że tak. Czy co myślimy o remisie? Najprawdopodobniej w kierunku remisu będzie szła ta partia. Można by takie mecze pokazywać ciekawie, gdyby pokazywano je w sposób profesjonalny, widok z dobrych kamer na twarze grających. RomTube, oczywiście, że tak, masz rację, 100%, ale do tego trzeba kasy, której nie mamy, ale jeżeli możesz nam w tym pomóc, to numer konta związku dostępny jest na stronie warcaby.pl. Prześlijcie nam jakieś datki, dajcie nam jakieś wsparcie finansowe, albo jeżeli jesteście przedstawicielami firmy, to podpiszmy jakiś kontrakt. Postarałem się jak najlepiej to rozwijać, pokazywać. Taki jest mój biznesowy plan. Mam nadzieję, że tych miejsc do lokowania naszych partnerów mamy i będziemy mieli jak najwięcej. Yuri Anikejew, the system of the match with rapid and blitz games has a minus. No one doesn't want to risk in a normal game. In matches with 20 games, the challenger must try to win. What do you think about this attitude and this sentence of Yuri Wołter?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Especially if there is a player who plays better in rapid or blitz than his opponent, there's no reason to risk in the long game.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, every match system has its minuses. For example, the one Yuri mentions, in 20 games, in which the title will stay with the champion in case of 2020. Mm-hmm. It's also not perfect, in my opinion, because the champion might just play defensively for 20 games and even be rewarded for that if he manages to play 20 drafts. So yeah, it's a bit of trying out different systems and see what is the best one that works.
Krzyś, Szkoła Szachowa prosi o wyjaśnienie zasad punktacji meczu Mistrzostwa Świata. Bardzo proszę, raz na jakiś czas będę przeskakiwał i będę tłumaczył Wam zasady punktacji tego meczu. Zawodniczki w każdy dzień gry, a tych będzie maksymalnie 9, spotykają się o godzinie 11 i grają partię klasyczną tempem 1 godzina i 20 minut plus minuta za każde wykonane posunięcie. I każdego dnia mamy do rozdania 12 punktów turniejowych. Jeżeli któraś zawodniczka wygra tę partię, którą właśnie obserwujemy, skasuje na swoje konto 12 punktów. Jeżeli będzie remis, spotykamy się o godzinie 18 na partii szybkiej, która trwa 20 minut i 5 sekund za każde posunięcie dodawane jest na zegarze. W przypadku wygranej 8-4, jeżeli remis, spotykamy się o 19 i gramy w blitza, czyli partię błyskawiczną, 5 minut plus 3 sekundy, jeżeli będzie rezultat korzystny dla jednej zawodniczek 7-5. Ale wczoraj graliśmy 3 partie, wszystkie 3 zostały zremisowane, a wynik dnia to 6-6. Natalia wygrała pierwszy dzień 8-4, wczoraj remis 6-6 i dzisiaj stan w posiadaniu punktowym to jest 14-10. Przechodzimy z powrotem na ekran z Wołterem. Wołter, do you think draft skills help in your working life?
Yeah, I saw the question in the chat. I've been thinking a little bit about it. I think definitely it must be, because during a draft game you have to concentrate for many hours. This absolutely helps you in your work life, but also things like strategic thinking, looking ahead, trying to think, if I make this decision, what will be the impact? Maybe what will someone else do? And try to analyze like that. I think these kind of skills really help in working life. And before we were talking about ways to promote drafts, and I think this is also one of the ways you can do that, to go to companies and try to explain them the similarities between the game of drafts and working or entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship is also about taking risks, for example, and in drafts you make the same kind of choices, or you face the same dilemmas. So I think definitely there are some similarities and ways in which drafts can help in working as well.
Hubert Sagan jeszcze doprecyzowuje pytanie o rozgrywkę. Kolory się zmieniają, zawodniczki siedzą naprzemiennie przy białych, przy czarnych, z tym, że prowadzącą partią jest partia pierwsza na tempo klasyczne, czyli jeżeli Natalia dzisiaj gra białymi, to znaczy, że we wtorek będzie grała czarnymi, niezależnie od tego, w ilu pojedynkach rozstrzygnie się dzisiejsza gra. Dziękuję bardzo za kolejne wizyty tutaj ze strony szachistów i kolejnych bardzo znanych mi, i nie tylko pewnie mi, pewnie innym również, portali typu InfoSzach. Jeżeli PZ Wars chciałby przybliżyć tematykę warcabów dla szachistów, na naszych kanałach chętnie zamieścilibyśmy takie materiały. Deal, zrobimy je na pewno. Trzymamy kciuki za Natalię. Świetna transmisja, dziękuję bardzo. Big chess portals are coming to the transmission, to the chat. InfoSzach, Krzyż Szkoła Szachowa, many chess players. I don't know if you know that, but after Queen's Gambit, of course the popularity of chess is growing enormous in the world, but in Poland, it is a huge grow. And also these big portals from chess are visiting us, and I look forward to this cooperation between chess players and drafts players, because our communities have the same goals to promote mental sports. By the way, there is a candidate tournament right now where Anish Giri is getting quite good result. Do you follow the chess tournaments?
Yes, from the corner of my eye only a bit. Yesterday I watched a little bit of the stream there, and indeed Anish Giri, our Dutch hope, is now in second place. Still has some chances to win the tournament. So definitely interesting. Always interesting to watch chess, and also to see the way they broadcast their sport and promote it, because they may be a few years ahead of us, and I think as a drafts world we can only learn from them.
Po ruchu Tamary 9-13, Natalia zagrała 44-39. Natalia played 44-39, which was easy to predict, and she stands from the board. And we'll see, maybe Tamara will play also quite fast. Tamara has almost 16-17 minutes of advantage in this position. Of course, chess is the big sport, and now also for us, we've having Jan Krzysztof Duda, the chess player. I don't know if you recognize him. He has beaten Magnus Carlsen twice during last year and got to the top 15 sportsmen in Poland, next to, for example, Robert Lewandowski. And he is the great proud of Poland. He is the great proud of chess players. And also in this case, Natalia is a great opportunity and great chance for us. And after the Queen's Gambit, we tried to make a photo sessions where Natalia looked like Beth Harmon, because with all these analogies, it's easier to make this product to sell, and to see all the people that it's interesting. And that's the way, in my opinion. I think that with the chess we can do much more. In Netherlands, you somehow cooperate with the chess players?
Not actively as top players at the moment. I know that on the federation level there are some meetings between drafts and chess and also bridge sometimes, to see how can we learn from each other. But as top players, I don't think we really cooperate with other chess players.
Okay. We also had a nice discussion about computer engines, because perhaps you know, but I got to know recently that in chess, computer engines are so strong that it is almost impossible to make a draw for the world champions, even playing with black figures and pieces. And in drafts, I think it is quite easy for the top grandmasters to play a draw against the engine. What do you think about that?
It used to be. With every year coming, it's getting harder. And now with scan coming up in the last few years, and the ability to play against scan on lead drafts, you really can get a feeling of how strong it is. I think many grandmasters couldn't maybe even imagine a program playing like this and still winning so many games against the grandmasters. Still, I think it is possible for a grandmaster to play a draw, but if the program would be optimized a little bit more, I can imagine that already. It will be harder, but it's also a difference between the game of drafts and the game of chess. I think maybe in general, in drafts, a draw is a little bit easier than in chess.
Okay, it's easier to make a draw in a top-level drafts than in top-level chess, yes?
I think so.
But do you think that also it comes with the fact that white has an advantage in chess?
For this, I don't know enough about.
Because you know that the game is not balanced, in chess.
Yeah.
The one who starts has a little advantage, And I heard that at the top level it takes about 20 to 30 moves to make the position equal, and then start to think about getting better over your opponent. And also, I heard recently that it does not happen almost at the top level in chess that you have winning position and you in close difficult position do a blunder that ruins your position and turns that the opponent wins, which in drafts can happen really often, because in close position it's just impossible to calculate all the possible combinations, because you have to, in the tactical solutions, you have to calculate much further and imagine the position, which is much more complicated after many moves of combination. That was part of the commentary section somewhere on my YouTube channel, for example.
It's an interesting discussion to compare both the games.
We are far from comparing, and we can compare, but we are far from saying that one game is tougher than another. It's not the way. Different sports, different games, and
exactly. And you can dedicate your life to both games, or to either of the games. You can dedicate your life to drafts or to chess, and you will never be able to understand it fully as a human. So it also doesn't really matter. They're both difficult enough to spend your life on.
By the way, the result now is 14-10, and 14-10 was the year of the great Polish battle that Polish people won over the Crusaders in Poland, and that is one of the most famous dates in the Polish history. So I think that it also might be the Polish accent, the result right now, because I just reminded myself of this date. Mateo Boxum is saying that it's nice to have you, Warcaby, also in the stream, and who is going to win, in my opinion. But I don't know if you are asking about this game or about the match. This game, I think, is going to end up with a draw, and about the match, I think that Natalia will manage it. What do you predict, Wouter, about this day, this game, and the match?
This game could become still a little bit interesting if TANSYKKUZHINA finds all the right moves. But probably a draw anyway. And then in Rabbit and Blitz, I'm really curious. I think there Tamara has to show a little bit more constant level to get a good result. In the previous Rabbit and Blitz game, she made a few too many mistakes. But if she gets a good flow in those Rabbit and Blitz games, I think she can win. If it doesn't change, I think it will just be either 8-4 for Natalia or again 6-6.
Pan poseł Tomasz Zimoch pyta się, czy zawodniczki poddawane są testom covidowym. Oczywiście, że tak. Tamara nie dość, że musiała mieć test, zanim wyleciała od siebie z Rosji, z Ufy, to jeszcze w dodatku po lądowaniu jako mieszkanka poza strefą Schengen musiała na naszym Okęciu warszawskim również test przejść, który był oczywiście negatywny i który potem mógł pozwolić jej nie zostać objętą kwarantanną, a Natalia to jest nasz ozdrowieniec, również oczywiście testowana, dzięki czemu zawodniczki też uprawiając sport zawodowy, wyczynowy, siedzą naprzeciwko siebie bez żadnej pleksji, ścianki pomiędzy. Co tu więcej piszecie ciekawego w komentarzach? Wynik mam nadzieję, że jest czytelny. Jeżeli macie jakieś sugestie, jeżeli macie jakieś pytania, pomysły, to oczywiście śmiało jak najbardziej pytajcie. Ja wiem, że jest tutaj wielu początkujących warcabistów, ludzi, którzy widzą warcaby po raz pierwszy. Ja chcę być dla was tym buforem zachęcającym, emocjonalnym, który też pokaże wam, w jaki sposób możemy do warcabów wejść, jak możemy je poznać, jak możemy odkryć, tak jak bardzo często pokazuje te warcaby wam nasz tutaj ambasador warcabowy, już mogę myślę śmiało tak powiedzieć, pan Tomasz Zimoch, za co jeszcze raz bardzo serdecznie dziękuję. I pana Tomasza Zimocha zapraszam serdecznie, publicznie, otwarcie do komentowania, bo tutaj mamy już przygotowaną, zobaczcie, plakietkę dla pana Tomasza VIP, Very Important Person na Women's World Title Match. Panie Tomaszu, zaproszenie poza tym personalnym wysłanym wcześniej, jeszcze teraz publiczne do pana kieruję. A Tamara zagrała 17-22, 17-22 to get active on the left black swing. What can you say about that, Walter?
Yeah, I like this kind of build-up. So in the beginning, I criticized a little bit her moves 16-21 and 11-16, but I think this is an active way of playing and trying to control the square on 27. Again, not by actually standing there with the piece, but to stand around it. And for white, it will be the question now how to play. If you would play 32-28, black can play 21-26 and gain another 2 temps, so to get closer again to the king. And now this triangle 16-21-26 is rather active. It prevents white from getting to 27. From now on, black might be able to pressure from this triangle. As a kind of a hook. So white has to think what to do. Maybe 49-44 and then change with 33-28 to the center.
Konieczne wyjaśnienie dla pana Huberta, kto zostaje mistrzynią świata. Już tłumaczę, mamy 9 dni turniejowych, w trakcie każdego dnia meczu mamy do rozdania 12 punktów dla zawodniczek. 9 razy 12 to jest 108. Podzielić na 2 mamy 54, więc jeżeli któraś z zawodniczek przeskoczy połowę możliwych do zdobycia punktów, przeskoczy tę wartość 54 punktów, czyli zdobędzie 55 punktów lub więcej, zostaje mistrzynią świata. Kończymy grę w meczu o Mistrzostwo Świata, no i mamy w tym momencie zwycięzcę. 55 punktów lub więcej daje Mistrzostwo Świata Kobiet w Warcabach 2021. Bardzo proszę. Cieszę się, że wszystko jasne. Jeżeli macie jakiekolwiek pytania, śmiało pytajcie. Tutaj nie ma złych pytań. Jeżeli chcielibyście zapytać się o samą grę, to jak najbardziej również do zadawania takich pytań proszę, dlatego że nasz dzisiejszy gość, Wouter Sipma, arcymistrz międzynarodowy z Holandii, urodzony 21 maja 1993 roku, arcymistrzem międzynarodowym jest od 2017 roku. W najwyższym momencie, w najlepszym momencie swojej warcabowej kariery był 9 na liście rankingowej świata, aktualnie jest 24. Mimo tego, że pochodzi z okolic grupy języków germańskich, zna język rosyjski, co jest bardzo ciekawe. Już tutaj po rosyjsku kierował swoje pytania, pozdrowienia do rosyjskojęzycznej publiczności. Mistrz Europy Kadetów 2009, Mistrz Europy Juniorów 2012. Wygrał wielki turniej Hogoven Open. You won in 2013 Hogoven Open?
Hogoven Open.
Hogoven, how to pronounce it? Hogoven, okay. And you were third in the Dutch Championship 2019, yeah?
Actually, it's shared second place. It's true that I lost against Jan Groenendijk, with whom I shared the place, but it was not a criterion, I think. So.
And you were also the Dutch champion Rapid 2019?
Yes.
And
yes.
the same, you can explain that in a second. And the same year, you won the bronze medal in the World Championship Rapid.
Yes, exactly. It was in 1 week, actually. The World Championship Rapid and the Dutch Championship Rapid. Yes.
Nice, really nice. So the story that you wanted to tell about?
Yeah, that indeed this was in the same week, and it was a very successful one. Also, it was organized close to my hometown in Drenthe. It was organized in Bijlen. Maybe you also have played there some European Championship youth or World Championship youth.
Yeah, many times.
And I didn't really expect to perform that well there, but everything fell in the right spot, and I got a nice result.
Congrats for that. So I think that you play better Rapid than the classical game comparing to the world?
Yeah, this I don't know. I like Rapid game because I think it's long enough to get some complicated position on the board, and at the same time it's short enough for your opponent to make some mistakes. So and also not to defend too passively. So I like this kind of game pretty much.
It works for you. Anna Lepek pisze, że zbliża się Dzień Dziecka, warto pomyśleć nad prezentem. Świetnym podarkiem może być kurs online Warcaby opracowany przez pana Damiana. Dziękuję bardzo za te ciepłe słowa. Z tego, co tam widziałem w statystykach zakupów, to Anna Lepek jest szczęśliwym, mam nadzieję, posiadaczem takich kursów razem z córką Emilią, którą pozdrawiam bardzo serdecznie. Oczywiście na warcaby.tv takie kursy znajdziecie. Zapraszam do zakupu, do lekcji testowych, bo tam są też wykłady bezpłatne i do rozwijania tej swojej warcabowej gry. Mieliśmy tutaj powiedziane o tym, że było testowane 20 lat temu w Holandii, żeby w warcaby za zwycięstwo dawać 3 punkty, a za remis 1. Wrócono jednak do tej punktacji, że za zwycięstwo w takich turniejach klasycznych, gdzie gramy na przykład systemem szwajcarskim popularnym, czy z szachów, czy z warcabów, za zwycięstwo mamy 2 punkty, za remis 1, a porażka oczywiście to brak punktów. Przed chwilą przedstawiałem wam jeszcze raz sylwetkę Woutera Sipmy. Jest to między innymi brązowy medalista Mistrzostw Holandii, gdzie Holandia, pamiętajcie, to jest jeden z najsilniejszych, myślę, że 2-3 krajów na świecie, jeżeli chodzi o poziom gry warcabowej. Zajął 3. miejsce w Mistrzostwach Holandii w 2019 roku, a w tym samym roku, 2019, został mistrzem Holandii w warcaby szybkie, czyli w te, które my gramy o godzinie 18. Już 2 razy graliśmy, bo partia pierwsza tempem klasycznym zakończyła się bez rezultatu na korzyść żadnej z zawodniczek. W tym samym roku, a nawet jak sprostował jeszcze Wouter, w ciągu praktycznie 1 tygodnia został brązowym medalistą Mistrzostw Świata właśnie w tej szybkiej grze 20 minut plus 5 sekund, więc ogromne gratulacje i ogromny autorytet Woutera, który teraz możemy wykorzystywać do tłumaczenia nam. Proszę bardzo. I przy okazji świetnie mówi po polsku i możemy go wykorzystywać do tłumaczenia nam warcabowej gry. Natalia played 39-34. Natalia zagrała 39-34, and what will be the continuation?
I think either 14-19 to get this piece closer to the center, or to wait 1-7. It is possible to go to 27 by 21-27 or 22-27 or even 22-28, but I think just like we talked, it's better to keep your cards closed so far.
She always can go to the 27, yeah? Just leave it.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I think there is some initiative for black. Do you think that Natalia feels that she has to defend right now, or just she stays normal with this position?
Well, I think she knows that she needs to be careful, but she's not worried here. No, okay. And she will just play her moves, keep her position solid, and see where it gets her. And if Tamara takes a bit too much risk, maybe to also counter from there.
Wouter, we are already 2 hours streaming. I think that it is the good time for, let's say, 11-15 minute break, because physiology reminds us that we have to make short breaks. We have to visit the toilet, for example. I have to, I don't know how you. So what time you think that we should come back and broadcast and comment the match?
Yeah, maybe 1:05 or 1:10.
1:05 will be the 15 minutes break. 15-minutowa przerwa, słuchajcie moi drodzy, na fizjologię, którą oczywiście, o której nie można zapominać. Powoli zbliżamy się do najważniejszych momentów tej partii, do rozstrzygnięć, w miarę jak zawodniczki wykorzystują czas, jak przesuwają te kamienie w stronę kamieni przeciwnika, w miarę jak liczba kamieni na warcabnicy się upraszcza. Niedługo będziemy decydowali o tym, kto zwycięży, czy będzie remis, czy będą popołudniowe dogrywki, okaże się już za jakiś czas. A żeby być wtedy aktywnym i żeby być przy warcabnicy, teraz zapraszam Was na krótką przerwę, gdzie będziecie widzieć po prawej stronie warcabnicę z sytuacją na planszy i oczywiście większe ujęcie na kamerze. Więc już teraz zapraszam Was na przerwę i do zobaczenia o godzinie 13:05. Ja jeszcze ją tylko zaktualizuję. So Wouter, we see each other at 1:05.
Yes, let's hope the position has then grown a bit more interesting.
That's right. Let's hope. See you then.
See you there.
And we are back because our two microphones were muted. Yeah, I forgot to put it on. So now everything should be hearable for you. Wracamy. Przepraszam najbardziej za to, że wyłączyłem, nie zapomniałem włączyć mikrofonu z powrotem. Mieliśmy do czynienia z wymianą 22-28 ze strony Tamary. Natalia pobiła 32-23, Tamara bije 18-40, białe mi odbija 35-44. Natalia, maybe I will just go back with a few moves more. Tamara zagrała potem 12-18, Natalia 37-32, 1-7 Tamara i Natalia wymieniła 32-27 i to jest pozycja, którą obecnie mamy. 56 minut na zegarze Tamary, 43 minuty na zegarze Natalii. Voter, can you say us what has happened during last moves?
Yes, I think with this move 22-28 before we left, I pointed it out as a possibility, but I think this actually throws away all the initiative black has. These are two active pieces which should be kept, and this allows Natalia to throw away the black center again. And right now, I think the position is absolutely equal. No more initiative for black. Also because the piece on 35 is now moved to 44, is more central.
Tamara tą wymianą, tak jak mówi Wouter, pozbawiła siebie dwóch centralnych kamieni, czyli 22 i 18, a w ten sposób nawet przez to, że pion biały 35 pobił do tyłu, to tak naprawdę teraz z miejsca, gdzie się znajduje, może sobie spokojnie wejść do gry w centrum, w środku planszy. Wouter, a Cymisz międzynarodowy z Holandii ocenia tę pozycję jako równą, więc absolutnie ta przewaga, którą zarysowywaliśmy po stronie Rosjanki, sprowadziła pozycję jej wyborami do równości, absolutnej równości. This is just a passive play once again. We don't see anything interesting, just the safety first variant. This is something that we expected, to be honest. What can you say about the things that can happen still in this game?
I don't think much will happen. The only thing is that this piece on 27 can be a target for black, so black can move around the piece. Also build this column 9, 13, 18, with which you can exchange this piece or maybe make some combinations. And the only thing that I can see is happening is that the piece on 36 stays there and becomes weak at some point. This is the only thing Natalia should pay attention to. But then it should be fine. We have this rule in drafts that you need to play 40 moves before you can make a draw. And yeah, right now we are 7 moves away from that, 6 or 7 moves.
I think they won't agree in the open position, even if you have like 6 pieces against 6 pieces, they will play till the end, till the making king or something. Totally sure and equal position in the end game. But honestly, I don't find any point in making the girls more exhausted and playing those moves because everything is going to the draw direction.
Yeah, and maybe this is also has a little bit to do with the match format, because having to play not only one game per day but also a rapid game and a blitz game is quite exhausting. And since this is the last day of the first block, tomorrow will be a rest day. Yeah, players may really want to save their energy and make a final push in the rapid game or the blitz game.
I don't know if you see the live cam, but now Natalia is just waving with her leg. I don't know if this is the stress or this is just the calm that she has in this position, but nothing happens in this game, and so I believe that she can be calm because my viewers reported me that yesterday before the Blitz game, hands of Natalia were shaking, totally shaking. So the stress was present.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you play the games at this level, this is the world title match. There's nothing more that's more important in drafts. So yeah, absolutely, the tension is high, and especially in these quick games. And yeah, right now she seems very relaxed. Yeah, and I think it's actually a pity. I didn't expect this move 22-28.
Yeah, it's a passive one.
I guess it's the most important moment. If Tamara would have liked to continue the pressure, play 14-19, or yeah, I think mainly 14-19, and don't make a decision yourself. This also makes it easier for white because black makes the decision, and white can do as she likes. But who knows? Let's see. And otherwise, even if this game ends in a quick draw, we'll have the rapid game and this game to look forward to. That's the plus side for this for the format and also for the spectators, I think.
That's right. Wojciech Staszewski pisze, że Natalia znowu wygląda gorzej czasowo. Faktycznie wygląda czasowo gorzej, natomiast w tym układzie pionów, gdzie jest to pozycja otwarta, o pozycji otwartej w Warcabach mówimy wtedy, kiedy piony się nie stykają, kiedy nie są bezpośrednio pole obok pola, nie generują takich trudnych, zamkniętych, związanych pozycji. No i ta otwarta wydaje się najłatwiejszą pozycją do gry, więc biorąc pod uwagę fakt, że zagrano już 34 posunięcia, na remis można się zgadzać po ruchach 40, co tutaj Wouter przed chwilą wspominał. Wychodzi na to, że Natalia nie powinna mieć problemu z dokończeniem partii, mając te 43 minuty na zegarze, więc o czas w tej partii naprawdę możemy być spokojni. Analizowaliśmy też fakt, że dziewczyny faktycznie nie przemęczają się, szukają tych uproszczeń, spokojniejszych wariantów w grze na długi czas. Żadna nie chce tutaj ryzykować, nie chce podnieść rękawic, nie chce tej krwi przelewać w nawiązaniu do mojej czerwonej koszuli, o czym wspominałem już wcześniej. Starają się jednak zachować spokój, bo pierwsza partia zremisowana to jest gwarancja 4 punktów na koncie w bilansie dnia. No i widać, na tym im zależy najbardziej. Grają też prosto, nie przemęczając przesadnie swoich obwodów obliczeniowych w głowie, no bo dzięki temu zachowują po prostu więcej siły na te starcia popołudniowe, na godzinę 18 na partię szybką i na 19 na ewentualną partię błyskawiczną. Nie wiem, czy robią to z myślą o nas, o widzach, żebyśmy mieli więcej tego kontentu, tych treści do oglądania, żebyśmy nie mieli spokojnego niedzielnego popołudnia, tylko żeby ta krew w naszych żyłach gotowała się od warcabowych emocji. Jest to bardzo prawdopodobne i może właśnie z myślą o nas, patrząc, machając tutaj nogą, dostarczają nam kolejnych wrażeń w postaci popołudniowych dogrywek. A jak Natalię doskonale możecie teraz oglądać, ta noga macha w lewo, macha w prawo. Nie wiem, czy to jest oznaka stresu, nie wiem, czy to jest oznaka spokoju, natomiast ta noga u Natalii bardzo lubi chodzić i bardzo często jest oznaką właśnie tego, że partię z emocjami przeżywa. What do we have on the chat? Maybe we'll look for some question. Wiadomo, że na tak długim dystansie z zasobem czasu obie panie mają dużo czasu i trudniej o błąd, więc byłabym w stanie się założyć, że każda z tych gier skończy się remisem. Pytałem już o to Woutera. Wouter powiedział, że na pewno jakaś partia się skończy rezultatem. There is a statement that with such a long time for thinking, one of our viewers thinks that every classical game will end up with a draw. We are talking about that. You told that it's almost obvious that one of the games, the classical games, will end up with a winning of one of the sides. You say so still?
Yeah, absolutely. And what I'd like to say also is that in potential, I think this is a really interesting matchup between Tamara and Natalia because their playing styles are different. Natalia is really known for her solid, reliable way of playing. with which she had great successes in earlier matches against Kamyshleva in 2016, against Golubieva in 2018. And this reliable way of playing maybe also makes her the favorite for this match. But I think Tamara has a very interesting way of playing, with creative plans, with taking some risks. And I would like to see more of this actually from Tamara's side. I think yesterday in the Blitz game, we saw some creative moves by Tamara. And in this game, you could really see chances for both. And that's what would make games interesting. And my feeling is that in the first three classical games we have seen so far, Tamara is also trying to play rather safely, with a little bit of initiative, but not more than that. Maybe it's also influence of her coach, Alexei Chizhov, who is also known for that playing style. But I'm not sure if it really fits her.
But you know, Alexei Chizhov is playing like every piece is on the right square, everything works perfect, everything has to look nice, every piece is just very important, and the precision of Alexei Chizhov is amazing, yeah? I don't see this precision in Tamara's playing style right now.
No, and it takes a lot. It takes a lot of precision indeed to be able to be productive with such a playing style. Yesterday she came close, so she may think that continuing like this is a good idea. But if in a game like today, if this repeats for 2 or 3 more days, I think she should really change something. And otherwise, she only has a chance to do it in the rapid game or the blitz game.
Zacząłem mówić o nodze Natalii, pan poseł Tomasz Zimoch mówi: panie Damianie, lepiej nie poruszajmy wyobraźni, tak, zostańmy w sferze wyobraźni, która na pewno jest pobudzana u naszych zawodniczek, u Natalii i u Tamary, dlatego że to wszystko, przewidywanie, predykcje tego, co się pojawi na warcabnicy, musi dziać się w ich głowach. Wilczak napisał: panie Damianie, ze stron w Warcabach wynika, że najbardziej utytułowanym warcabistą w Polsce jest Mariusz Adamaszek. Czy jest możliwość zaproszenia go do komentowania partii? Mariusz Adamaszek od jakiegoś czasu jest nieaktywnym zawodnikiem, ale z wielką przyjemnością zapraszam, bo wczoraj chyba widziałem gdzieś nawet komentarz Mariusza Adamaszka na kanale Warcaby, więc jeżeli Mariusz Adamaszek ogląda, słyszy i chciałby tutaj dołączyć do komentowania, to z wielką przyjemnością zapraszamy bardzo serdecznie. Jak najbardziej. Co do jeszcze jednej rzeczy chciałem się odnieść, tylko już nie pamiętam jakiej. Na pewno został wykonany ruch 3-9, 3-9 has played Tamara, 3-9 and it's Natalia Stern once again. It's normal, obvious move to make a column. Tamara stworzyła kolumnę 9, 13, 18. Jedną z podstawowych, najważniejszych formacji, którą w naszych pozycjach powinniśmy budować, czyli 3 piony uzupełniające się, wspierające się, stojące w ramię, dzięki którym możemy przeprowadzić wymiany albo zrobić warcabowe kombinacje. Dziękuję też Anecie sobie, Graj, za pierwszy tydzień procesury zakończony sukcesem. Zaczęłeś z wysokiego CO, i tak dalej. Dziękuję bardzo za te gratulacje. To jest oczywiście wynik pracy w ostatnich miesiącach, więc co będzie dalej dopiero czas pokaże, ale moje aspiracje sięgają jeszcze dalej, jeszcze wyżej, no bo co nam szkodzi mieć te aspiracje, najwyżej rzeczywistość trudno nas zweryfikuje, ale liczę na to, że będzie pozytywnie. Voter, what can you say about now plan of Natalia that is going to be shown during this game?
Yeah, like I said, I think she should develop the piece on 36 at some point. But first I would just build a solid position in the center to bring the piece on 43 in the game, and yeah, maybe something like this to build some formations. And yeah, I don't think much is going to happen here in the next few moves. I would like to say that 3-9 for me is a bit early, because it's true you make this formation, but you give up another formation, which is this one. Whereas if you play first 7-12, 12-17, then depending on the white moves, you might still be able to build this one and choose later.
It's more flexible to play 2 moves like you showed, because you have the opportunity of making 2 different columns. Yeah, more flexible.
I think so. Yes.
How important is the flexibility of building the position?
Yeah, I think it's quite important. It's not the main. It will not win or lose you the game, but it builds up over time. So if for 10 moves in a row you make a little bit better move, after 10 moves it can build up to some real advantage. It's not each move by its own which makes a difference. But and that's what makes it so difficult also to play strategically. And in the way Chizhov plays, like you mentioned, because he is able to play these 10 moves in the right way and to build some pressure. But so yeah, it's important.
Pijany Joker pyta, kto się teraz rusza? Zawsze osoba, której czas jest zaznaczony na czerwono. Więc w tym wypadku Natalia, też jej czas, jak widzicie, cały czas schodzi. Natalia jest na ruchu. Adrian z Katowic mówi, Damian może otworzyć sklep, taki jak kanał sportowy, a w nim kalendarz z Natalią. Będziemy robili sklep na stronie Polskiego Związku Warcabowego, na warcaby.pl, więc koniecznie. Jest to jeden z pomysłów prowadzenia działalności gospodarczej przeze mnie, bo jest to konieczne, żeby warcaby też zapewniały Wam możliwość i nabywania oczywiście różnych produktów warcabowych, ale też szkoleń, zdobywania edukacji, książek, samych warcabów technicznie i żeby też rozwijać więcej osób zainteresowanych warcabami i też znajdować nowe kluby, interesować nowe szkoły i wspierać je w tym, żeby warcaby były coraz bardziej popularne. John Villain is asking, how much time does a decent preparation for a tournament take in a view of an expert from website? Boomstra did not participate in the 2019 World Drafts Championship. His focus on his studies in physics. Because Boomstra did not play because he didn't have the right time for preparation.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, yeah. Of course, it really depends on what your goal is for a certain tournament. But in the case of Boomstra, he of course only aims for the first place. He will not participate if he thinks he will not be able to compete. And in that sense, I think a good preparation at least is 3 months, but ideally 6 months or more. In these 6 months, you can really prepare for your opponent, go through all games, all possible plans, make up your mind, ask different experts which you have around you to help you, and also make sure that you yourself build up to the top level. I think also in other physical sports, you see this, that scheduling of trainings is really important to make sure that whenever the main tournament happens, you will be at your best. For example, in cycling, the top level you will need when you have the Tour de France, or the tennis players for the Grand Slams, and this is the same for drafts, I think.
Yes, it's absolutely the same as the physical sports. Skrzacik 320, gdzie mogę znaleźć aktualne, oficjalne zasady gry? Jeżeli pytasz o zasady gry w Warcaby, to turniejowe zasady gry znajdziesz omówione przeze mnie w filmie wideo 30-minutowym, ale bardzo porządnie omówione z przykładami na stronie warcaby.tv. A jeżeli chodzi o zasady meczu, to oczywiście są one dostępne, tak jak mówi Bartek Maniecki, na stronie meczu, czyli mecz2021.warcaby.pl. Link jest oczywiście w opisie pod naszym wideo. Few moves were made. What has happened?
Yes, so TANSYKKUZHINA used the column she built the move before and exchanged the piece. But now actually I think white has a little bit easier position because this piece on 22 is quite alone, and white will be around it in just a few moves. So I wonder. Of course, there's very little material on the board, so not much can happen. But
yeah, the position.
All the worries for Natalia are gone.
The position is equal, but it's quite an easy game for white with surrounding, like you said, this piece 22. I always like to play against pieces like 22, but Tamara played 16-21 just not to leave this piece alone. It looks decent, yeah?
Yes, and I see Natalia already chose for 37.
Yeah, immediately.
One playing very quickly now.
Yeah, immediately,
Perhaps.
and immediately Tamara went to 27. Czyli ostatnie ruchy, które zostały wykonane, I have to tell that in Polish, so I have to go back a little. Od momentu, kiedy podawałem ostatnie posunięcie Natalii, czyli 37-32, potem było 1-7, 32-27, wymiana 21 bije na 32, 38 bije na 27, czarne zagrały 3-9, 43-38 zagrała Natalia, a Tamara wymieniła 18-22, 27 bije na 18 i 13 bije na 22. 42-37, 16-21, 37-31, 20 i 1-27. Szybko wykonane posunięcia przez zawodniczki, pomimo tego, że mają dużo czasu, wszystko chyba tutaj zostało precyzyjnie policzone. Po raz, 2, 4, 5, 6, po 7 kamieni, na warcabnicy komputer ocenia pozycję jako równą z bardzo minimalną może przewagą, ale nie pozwalającą partii wygrać na rzecz białych i skończyły się. They accepted the draw.
Yes, it's already there.
Yeah.
It was clear that they were moving so fast that they probably already agreed on it.
We didn't even get to 500 viewers. Players agreed for a draw because after the next exchange, 22-28, it looks like a total draw.
Yes, absolutely. Like you said, we didn't reach the 500 viewers. Or I see that we have 513 right now.
Oh, okay. So we reached
better. It's better for the viewers also to come back at 6 now and do what you have to do right now. We can use the free time, so we all will be back at 6.
Tak, zawodnicy teraz odpoczywają. Okay, because at 6 we change the guest because at 6 it will be Ivan Antonienko with us, and I hope that we, Walter, will meet during the transmission once again if you will be available with your time.
Sure.
Okay.
I would love to.
Jeżeli wy chcielibyście zobaczyć jeszcze Wołtera na naszej transmisji, to koniecznie podziękujmy mu, koniecznie zaprośmy go do streamowania wspólnego, bo może być ku temu okazja. Najważniejsza informacja tej pierwszej połowy dnia jest taka. Partia pomiędzy Natalią Sadowską grającą białymi, a Tamarą TANSYKKUZHINą zakończyła się remisem, a to oznacza, że po raz trzeci w tym turnieju nie mamy rozstrzygnięcia w partii klasycznej. Spotykamy się o godzinie 18 na partię szybkiej. To będzie możliwość do tego, żeby zobaczyć więcej emocji, żeby cieszyć się szybką grą, z szybką analizą, no i być może znowu rozstrzygnięcie na korzyść Natalii, tak jak pierwszego dnia na 8-4. Dzisiaj było spokojnie, dzisiaj było bez emocji, ale dziewczyny, wiecie, no trzymają zawsze z rana to nasze przeżywanie, nie chcą, żebyśmy przesadnego zawału dostali i zapraszają nas do gry wieczorem. I tak jest również dzisiaj. Thanks Walter, great commentary, says Karol Cichocki, Polish champion. O godzinie 18 widzimy się na polskim streamie, w trakcie którego gościem moim będzie mistrz międzynarodowy z Ukrainy, Iwan Antonienko. Iwan mówi po polsku, więc zapraszam was serdecznie już teraz na 18. Będziemy komentować głównie po polsku. Będzie się działo, będzie ciekawie. So once again, Walter, a big word of thank you for joining me in this stream. I think that we got a really big part of knowledge from your side, from your Grandmaster International side. Thank you that you shared that with us, with the streamers, with the audience of the Warcaby channel, with the audience of the World Draft Championship match between Tamara TANSYKKUZHINA and Natalia Sadowska. And I really hope to see you once more on this stream, or more even than once. So thank you very much, and hope to see you soon.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you for having me. And if not in the stream, I will always be around in the chat and to give my variants, whether they are fantasy variants or good variants. We will see.
Fantasy variants are also great.
Okay, and good luck tonight.
Yeah, thank you very much. Go to Walter Sipma is his channel. Follow, subscribe, and watch the content that Walter is bringing, because there you can really learn how to play drafts. A teraz już bardzo Wam dziękuję. Wbijajcie oczywiście na kanał Woutera, Wouter Sipma na YouTubie. Widzimy się przed godziną 18, parę minut przed 18, no i znowu będą emocje. Krótszy czas, będzie aż kipiało. Mam nadzieję, że jakieś tabletki na uspokojenie będą w pogotowiu, bo dziewczyny już nas przygotowały do tego, że wieczorem po prostu dzieje się ciekawiej. Trzymajcie się ciepło, remis pierwszej partii, gramy przed 18 i do zobaczenia.